All right, guys, we're down here at the East Bay Vivarium. Just want to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm John Emberton, one of the owners here.
Okay, how long have you been here, John?
I've been here since 1990, which makes it 34 years now.
It's about as old as I am.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Made me feel old. Been an owner since 95, so not been an owner the whole time.
Gotcha.
Yeah, 5
so
years.
first 4 or 5 years you
5
were...
years I was just a grunt like everybody else and worked my way up. And
Okay. And then I was telling my friend over here about what this rack meant to me as a kid, because this is where, I don't know if I ever told you this story. This is where I got my first ball python.
Oh, no way.
It actually came from that. I believe that if that's the same rack. I don't know.
It's been the same rack for about...
Since 99 or
25,
2000.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, because I caught a gopher snake. It was a pair of gopher snakes that got into my yard, and my brother, he's about captive breeding and all that stuff even back in the day. And he told me to come down here and he bought me a ball python here. So my first ball python actually came from here, and now I'm breeding them. So it's like a big circle.
Disease I gave you.
Yeah, you started it, especially because I always remember your face. You know, I always come here.
I kept it the same way.
And there was another guy. I don't know if he works here anymore.
Owen.
Okay, he's the
partner
original.
Owen?
Yeah.
Bigger guy?
Yeah, did he have a beard or?
He has a beard. Yep.
Gotcha.
And he is semi-retired. He does all our birthday parties and school lectures, library lectures, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So it's kind of his own schedule, or at least as best he can.
Gotcha. All right, so want to give me a little bit tour of...
Yeah, so last time you were here, things were a little bit different, I think. We have been in a constant move of rearrangement and remodeling since Owen's departure and Kevin came on. What we've done here is to sort of focus all of our dry goods and all of our supplies into one aisle. Before this, it was kind of this hodgepodge throughout the whole store, making you kind of have to wander and meander through the whole store to kind of pick everything up. It makes a lot more sense to get this focused. We're not quite done yet, but we'll get there. I think another few months, and we'll be where we want to.
And when I do notice, with you guys versus a lot of people, you guys do have like a good choice of reptiles versus a lot of stores are limited to what reptiles they have, right?
Yeah. We've been doing it longer than anybody. We started in 1970, so that makes us the oldest, certainly in the United States, probably in the world, solely reptile retail store that's still open today.
Yeah. Under like a couple owners, right? Like you were saying.
Yeah. We're doing just reptiles and have doing it this long. It's kind of a big interest to us. A lot of stores, they're doing all the fish and the birds and everything else, and their reptile sections are quite small. A lot of reptile stores that are purely reptiles, because they're so niche, particularly here in California, aren't very big, so they don't have the ability to warehouse or really have a really large display for a very large group of different species of animals.
All right, you want to go check out some reptiles over here?
Let's do it.
All right.
Things that we've, it's funny, I actually sell almost as many plants as I do reptiles these days. This section is actually going to expand. We're going to end up getting twice as many shelf space for live plants. So all of this, for the most part, has been eliminated of reptiles. It's just the dry goods. This freezer is an old ice cream freezer that we're going to end up eventually.
This is your rodent freezer, right?
This is our rodent freezer. So I help you. You serve rodent freezer, so you just come and grab what you need out of that freezer. But it's really hard to organize. So we're actually going to get a stand-up freezer that has got shelves, and it's going to be easier to organize as we come down.
Oh yeah, this is totally different now than I remember. So yeah, you're saying this is all the products over here.
Apparently, Argus monitors just went on some higher level of endangerment. So
really?
It's cleared us out of a bunch of Argus monitors that are here. So they're empty at the moment, but these will be filled. These cages, because of all their moving around, got emptied as well. So in a very short time, these guys will be up and running, but we just haven't had the time to get up there yet.
Okay. So what do you have these all sectioned off to certain reptiles?
We do. So as we look down this aisle is mostly what we call the snake aisle, because this whole rack here is for the most part mid-sized snakes, so ball pythons, half-grown boas, carpet pythons, and larger colubrids is what we have and what we do have store here on this wall. Behind me are all basically bearded dragons and lizards that are babies and smaller species.
Okay.
We've got
blue-tongued
dragons, blue-tongued skinks, that kind of thing.
And do you breed those rankins here?
We do. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Gotcha.
Show you where all that stuff is. A lot of the ball pythons are actually ex-breeders. We've been really slimming down a lot of our breeding projects. We have just too many things, and it's really overwhelming us as far as just trying to stay on top of it, let alone get it all bred. So we're really paring down a lot of our stuff, kind of getting down to the stuff we really like to work with, or stuff that is really...
It's cool to see like this is the Maro's bullet here too. That's like...
we'll see some big ones around.
Oh yeah. I always wanted one of those, but I'm kind of happy where I'm at.
Well, wait till you see how big they get.
Yeah.
Where how big they really can be.
Okay, so this is more of
Yeah,
like.
so again, all the lights haven't turned on yet. We got heat lights on, but floor lights haven't turned on. The cameras haven't turned on just yet. We get into some of the more bigger lizard cages for group lizards, like large groups of leopard geckos, groups of crested geckos, and groups of gargo geckos, and that kind of thing will be here. More bearded dragons. You just can't get enough of those guys.
You got the, what do you got, Ackies here? Or not? This.
That's Ackies.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do a lot of Ackie breeding here. I think I produced over 50 last year.
Do you do like the red line? There's like the red ones and the yellows.
I do reds. I don't do yellows. I like yellows. I just whatever reasons I've had the reds for years and years, and been.
Because I know you guys are big on your Varanus, right? Or
We love our Varanus. We've been working with Argus monitors for 30 years and producing the heck out of those. Spiny tail monitors for the last decade or so. You'll see some other pretty projects we got upstairs when we get.
And you guys got these little toy section for the kids that maybe that don't want live reptiles, or the parents don't want.
Yeah, this is basically kids. Kids are crying; they're not going home with nothing. So it is good for everybody.
Definitely, 100%.
It keeps the kid from crying in the store. It keeps mom from having to yell and scream at him on the way home. He's out for less than $10, and we get something out of the deal too.
And then you also got these little, betas here, right?
Betas, yeah, we do oddball fish. We don't do a lot of them, but anything that might be something of the amphibious type of fish, so like lungfish.
Oh, you do lungfish here too?
We'll do lungfish,
Okay.
betas. In fact, I think the last lungfish we got, my manager took home, and weird cats and
Yeah.
fish. But for the most part, we're not doing fish.
Yeah, you specialize in the reptiles.
Yeah, it has
and
like a amphibious theme to it. We'll do fish. Like betas are
Gotcha.
hardly need water per se, but yeah, we'll air gulpers. So go with that. Lights are not on, but
It's all right.
These racks here and it's just starting to get filled right now because of the season. But baby tortoises will go here.
Gotcha.
Baby tortoises, box turtles. Some of these bigger ones are just big ones to fill the cages until the babies are hatched. But eggs are currently being laid as we speak.
Oh, so you do all the captive breeding tortoises?
We do some tortoises.
Some.
Do, oddly enough, the ones we're doing right now are sulcatas.
Oh, yeah?
Laying upstairs. But
Okay.
we have a lot of tortoises on loan down with a wholesaler down in San Diego. Actually, it's in El Cajon. And they breed a lot of our tortoises for us. Greek tortoises, Hermes tortoises, marginated tortoises.
A lot of stuff that is manageable sizes, right?
Yeah, which is something we focus really heavy on. I know we carry sulcatas, but we really try and push the, albeit more expensive, smaller species.
Gotcha.
Just something that everybody's going to be able to work with, no matter what their life circumstances are. You may have a lovely yard right now that your sulcata will destroy. But at some point you may move, and maybe you don't have that yard anymore. This tortoise, the smaller species can always go wherever you do, apartment or home. It doesn't really matter. Past this, we reach our amphibian section, which
What is it? Oh, the leaf tail? Or no, leaf chameleon.
oh yeah. So he's the only chameleon we're probably going to see in that he's out and easy to spot.
Oh, I see him. So are these like the smallest species?
Those are one of the smallest species. Those guys come out of East Africa. The Rukesia coming out of Madagascar actually get a little bit smaller than that, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the Reptilians and the Rukesias are the two really the small dwarves. There's Bradypody and a few other ones that we rarely see.
Gotcha.
That stay small as well, but those are probably as tiny as we're going to.
You got the lights on over here, huh?
Nope, those are just heat lights still going. I've got time yet to click on. Come back.
All right, I'll record them after.
So down here, besides the turtles, which we,
So you do a lot of musk turtles here?
that's the largest of the musk turtles. That's Tripicatus, the Stereotops
Mexican?
tripicatus. Mexican.
They get pretty big, right?
Yeah, it's basically, if you want a snapping turtle in California, that thing is the legal one you're going to get. They'll get twice that size, and they have twice the jaw pressure.
Oh, I can imagine.
Of a snapping turtle.
Yeah.
This will take, when it's full grown, it'll take your finger.
I was doing it right here, geckos, right?
So these are geckos that we got a big shipment of geckos in that we had to sort of oust a lot of our frogs. So these are actually frog tanks that will eventually come back to
like tree frogs you're talking about, or like
tree frogs, and we put a lot of
Pac-Mans.
ceratophrys in here, just like one per slot. So
Yeah.
You can not eat one another.
Okay.
And we've got all the ceratophrys in the back right now, so and some up the front of the counter. So they don't display well anyway. They just show like all you see is a mud bank with like maybe two lies sticking up. So
Yeah.
no rush on getting that. The fib section, same thing. We don't have any of the lights turning on just yet. These are where geckos are mixed in here with some of this stuff. But on top are where the real chameleons are, the real sized chameleons. And again, because things are so
like
choked
veils
up,
or
veils,
panthers.
That's all we have right now. But we carry the whole lot of them. The Jetsons and the.
Okay.
But yeah, so this is all what we call the fib section. All here is amphibians and for the most part chameleons. This too is the next remodel project where we're going to put in big, instead of permanent cages, cages that we can move around. So that we can actually give ourselves a little flexibility and change things as we need to.
And then this side is a little bit oddball lizards?
More lizards, monitor lizards, large iguanas. What do we have? We've got
rhino right here.
Rhino iguanas, Guatemalan spiny tail. That's kind of a rare lizard that came from Thai Park.
Okay. That's cool.
We've got a couple of those, and we had some bananas. We had some.
Oh yeah, the banana pectinatas.
Banana pectinatas. We get the pieds from him.
Oh, the
really
pied
cool.
pectinata.
Ty is an amazing person who does amazing things.
Oh, 100%. I met him a few times. So right here, there's more of the
fibs,
dart frogs.
Dart frogs, salmon leaf frogs. It changes all the time. Toads.
And I like how you do your habitats like more naturalistic too. Where
it's
probably painted up.
It's tough because every time you want to see a frog,
visually
you're digging it up.
Exactly.
And so
right.
It's not practical to have living tanks, but we try and keep drainage so that we don't end up with soup. We kind of give you an idea of what you need to make your tank look like per se. But we can't really plant anything. The things are broken down too frequently. We're literally digging through that every day to show somebody a frog. So plants just don't tolerate that kind of thing.
100%. All these are newts.
So this is our aquatic section of non-fish, particularly aquatic newts.
Yeah.
There's even a small baby turtle at the top. Armenian newts, the Iranian newts down here, the Spanish rib newts. That's about all we have right now. We've got our fake axolotl because
I'm about to say,
California laws.
I remember back in the day, were they ever legal?
They were all ambostomas were legal.
In like early 2000s, or
yeah. So what always happened is the fishing industry used to use water dogs, which are basically tiger salamander larvae, as bait, and they would sell those in the bait shops. And you'd go to the delta and you put this little thing on your hook, and you go and you catch bass with your water dog. At the end of your day, you're not taking those salamanders home. So what do you do with those salamanders? You dump them into the delta. So now we've got these, Arizona and non-native tiger salamanders hybridizing with our highly endangered California tiger salamander. And in the wisdom of Fish and Wildlife, instead of banning bait or putting a $10 tariff on every ambostoma that comes into the state, which would eliminate the whole bait idea, they just said we're just going to eliminate all ambostomas, whether it be a tiny little dusky or blue spot salamander, or whether it be diatonic axolotl, which could not hybridize with.
And you guys make it clear here.
That's really more of our joke too. But so wisdom is not always the prevalent response to a problem. Unfortunately, we tend to have knee-jerk reactions in this industry and or wildlife traffic.
And then, so this is the rest of the chameleon wall and the dart frogs.
More. And then we end up where we have some of the really big.
This is stuff I like right here, the bigger stuff.
So we've got the cupcake here. This is probably the biggest retic we have. She's deep shed right now, so that's no fun. But she's I think pushing about 17.
Yeah, she looks
17.
big.
Yeah, not as huge as.
So what are up here? Is this a coming eye mix or is this a?
No, this is sulfur.
Sulfur.
Yeah,
oh, gotcha.
Yeah. And we've produced her. It's a funny thing. We've had to, which we'll get to. We had to move our breeder male.
The big one.
The big water monitor into a smaller cage for another project, which I'm really excited about, which I'll show you. But he was breeding these guys, but the cages are just too small for them to move around.
Sulfurs are recessive, right?
It is a recessive trait.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So we were just making hats.
Are there multiple lines of sulfur within the smaller islands and the bigger islands, like mainland?
Sure there are. Yeah. Okay. And I have no idea which one. This is the original.
Yeah.
We've had this one as old as dirt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the long? Okay.
20.
What's your? Yeah, let's say you hit 20 on monitors now.
Easy.
Yeah.
We've had, yeah. We've had monitors live way over 20. I would give them 25 to 30 on average.
25 to 30
stuff can go
on the bigger stuff, right? And then right here is what is.
So she is our prime breeder, and
this is the one that's I saw a video that somebody says is like one of the best breeders you have.
She
is that her?
cranks out eggs all the time. Breeding water monitors is really not like other animals per se, in that it's a dangerous business. They are very kind to each other for 5 minutes, and then not kind to each other for the rest of their lives.
So you really gotta keep eye on them. Right?
Lots of stitches, lots of cuts, lots of antibiotics going into these things for the breeding project as they tear each other apart once either the female has become you know, I've had enough, or the male is just becoming too forward in his advances. Their teeth are brutal.
Yeah.
And just leave really bad cuts that require a lot of stitching sometimes. So it can't be in small cages. It's got to be big cages where they get away from one another.
Yeah, exactly. Is it a lot of times females can be more aggressive too at times?
That's often the case, but they've both gotten stitches from my male.
Gotcha.
So and nobody likes doing that. It's really no fun, and it takes the whole day to do that.
So this is a tiger. What is this?
That is a Super Tiger.
Super Tiger.
Platinum. Super Tiger something. Super Tiger,
I've got other names in it too.
whatever. Probably I don't know.
Gotcha.
And she is Tiger, Sunfire, Lavender Albino.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now, what's interesting about her is that when I got her, she was much smaller.
Okay, so you didn't raise her at all?
No, she was maybe half that size when I got her. About a year after I had her, she started laying eggs, and I'm like,
how old is she right now? You know?
well, I don't know. I'm gonna guess she's probably around 15.
15.
Yeah, because she was probably around 4 or 5 when I got her, and I've had her for about 10 years now. So when I got her, she was still very young.
Yeah.
She started laying eggs. I'm like, oh, I got a female, cool, because you know, you know for sure.
Yeah.
Not popping, or you can't get a good feel. But I'm like, those eggs look good, and so I incubated the eggs, and I'm like, that's weird. They're holding.
Yeah.
Half of them held, half of them failed, and you open them up, there's nothing in there.
Well, what's the season for them?
So I've had them breed year round, but this is sort of the time where we breed a lot of monitors, and we're kind of waning towards that. Today is going to be a great day. It's raining right now, so I'm going to start
it's for all
moving
reptiles,
stuff around.
right?
Yeah. But when she came in and started laying those eggs initially, she had not been with another male, and was too young really to I thought even to be laying the size eggs she did. But those eggs went to term and they hatched. So we had her basically laying parthenogenic eggs, which about half of those eggs would actually hatch.
And then they're just an exact copy of the mom, right?
Actually, no.
Well, wait, monitors, did they turn out male?
Monitors turned,
male, right?
Male. So many of them turned out male. They're not straight clones of the female, like you'd expect.
Like snakes, right? Snakes are
which
female.
You'd expect.
Yeah.
So, and no, I've had ball pythons parthenogenesis, and that was a male too.
Gotcha.
Yeah, weird,
okay.
Right? So, anyway, I was unhappy with putting away half the clutches into the garbage and half in the incubator.
Yeah.
So I said, let's introduce the male, and sure enough, 100% fertility once I started introducing the male.
Okay.
I've not introduced him this year. And she just threw a clutch maybe 4 months ago.
So
without him.
They're 6 months on average on hatching, or
about 5 months.
5 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And unfortunately, her eggs without the male, I got to get another half clutch again. Half went to term. Oh, she's young.
Oh, missed it. Yeah.
Half went to term, and then half collapsed.
Oh, I love this rhino right here. This rhino, is this one of your original?
That's Diesel. He's for sale, but he is one of a pair of breeding projects that we were going to do. Same thing. They just started picking on each other, and we just don't have the space for these guys. Honestly, this is a project that does best outdoors. They're really sun-loving animal, and if you've got an indoor-outdoor situation, that's where you really.
How are these guys' temperament?
Oh my God, he's a puppy dog.
Yeah.
Super tame. Yeah. He and his mate are just wonderful pets. Just right now they're having a level squirrel and they're not getting along, so they're separated.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Here's the last of our bigger Argus monitors.
Oh, Argus! I love Argus.
Yeah, this is kind of a end of a dynasty for us. You know, we produced hundreds of these.
So you can't breed them anymore here, or?
We can. I just don't want to.
Gotcha.
They're just.
And they're not for everybody either.
They're not for everybody. Honestly, water monitors take up. They're more mellow and don't need the space that these guys need. They are so active.
They're active.
Don't ever stop moving.
I think the coolest thing about these guys is the tripod.
Tripoding is super cool. But the same thing with these guys. Everything goes well until things don't when you're breeding them. And stitching is. We've gotten so good at our stitches. So much not fun.
Because their food response is probably
their
crazy.
Food response
so
is
fast.
Terrible, but even just the breeders, they eventually get tired of one another and say that's it. You know.
Okay, gotcha. Stitching on themselves.
Yeah, we stitch them. Well,
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Okay, and then you got this all cut.
So this is Dusty Rhodes. This is.
Is it Dusty Rhodes?
Yeah, this is a retired.
Do you know who Dusty Rhodes is?
One of our.
It's a wrestler.
Yeah. Well, a lot of our birthday party, school group, library animals. Get named after wrestlers. See, that's kind of
a lot of people probably don't know who that is.
I didn't until my.
I'm right at the end of that.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't know who that was?
No, I did not. No,
oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
More projects we've gotten rid of over the years, oddly enough, have been some of these smaller species of tortoise. These are the ones that I didn't send down or haven't sent down over the years to
right here?
El Cajon. These guys I used to work with up in our breeding area, which we'll go to in a minute.
Okay.
But these are like the like many of my breeders. These are the dejected or the injured or the infirmed. So if something loses a leg or comes in here, messed up, that's hard to sell. I just keep it as a breeder. And
100%. They're still, they're not like
a fine animal, right?
100%.
Doesn't look like something that you're going to want in your living room. I ran out of room, so these are my tripoded Herman's tortoises and tripoded Russian tortoises breeders that I had upstairs. We're just piecemealing out as pets at this point.
Okay.
We tried selling these groups, nobody really wanted it. Specs hingebacks. This used to be such a common tortoise. I think maybe back in the 90s, this was a $45 tortoise.
Yeah.
Really easy to get.
Oh wow, look at that. Yeah, they have cool designs on them. Where are they from?
So these are Africans from Central and South Africa. These guys. All right, so this is a species from Africa. And we have a species right here of turtle in North America that has a very similar thing, but backwards. So these guys are called hingebacks because they can close. They weren't super tame and know exactly what I'm up to. Anyway, they've got this back hinge. You can see there's a crease right here, which has got almost like
no
cartilage.
predators can get in there.
Right. Once they close up, this folds in. They can't get to their feet. They pull their heads in and. Like a sulcata, they've got the spiky arms that keep all the would-be predators out. But yeah, it used to be a super common animal, and now, like most things, the animals are endangered where they come from.
Like even the native species here, what is it called? The
desert tortoise?
The California
desert
Those
tortoise.
they just recently posted something about them, right? Like
so, it just became our state reptile. Well, it's always been our state reptile.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they've done anything different with its endangered status, but what they did do is they split it up into two different species.
Oh, gotcha.
So anything on the east side of the Colorado River is not agassiz. Everything on this side is agassiz.
Okay.
I don't remember what they named the new species on that side of the river, but that's the news I'm aware of.
Yeah.
Who knows? They come up with new stuff all the time, which is super cool. Cool.
Then right here is more just of
more of the other
geckos,
side,
lizards.
The geckos, the group geckos, some of the bigger stuff. This was a Lacerda that just sold yesterday.
Okay.
So
The jewel.
The jewel Lacerda.
Okay.
Correct, yeah. Which is
this where you have the kill lizard over here too?
Which one?
The killed?
No. He's down here. We'll see.
Gotcha.
So this is what we call Gecko Alley.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and this is all gay geckos, crested geckos. Giant New Caledonia giant geckos, whatever geckos.
Yeah.
Halmahera giant. I mean, it's the hodgepodge of geckos in between these two walls. As we mosey on down here, we get to the other side of the bearded dragon rack, and this is again another mix of snakes and lizards. We've got blue-tongued skinks. We've got
that's a nice size blue tongue too. I love blue tongues.
Oh, that's a big fat female there.
Is this no? This is
that is Gygus. That's a
northern? No, because the front legs are darker, right?
So
that means
that's actually from
Indonesian.
Yeah, it's Indonesian. So that's the biggest of the Indonesian ones, Gygus.
The Gygus.
And there are actually the Gygus occur on many islands, and they occur certainly on the mainland, which is what that one is. And they have two mainland forms. They've got the Gygus and they've got the Irianjaya. Irianjayensis, I think they called it at this point. But it's a very stouter, just as heavy body, but stouter and
but a little
more variable colored.
How to tell the difference is the front legs, right? Darker
they've got the
versus
black
like
legs.
A northern blue tongue and
right. We can see like a northern right here.
Okay, the northern over there.
Yeah, it's got
so let me show this one.
So Gygus has got the black legs.
And then the northerns.
And then the northerns, you can see, have got the tan legs. Yeah. Within Australia, they've got about 7 or 8 different distinct species of
the eastern, right?
Easterns. They've got Occidentalis, Magaludia. These are intermedia. You've got multifasciata, really cool one. And of course if you count.
But they practice more captive breeding on the northerns now, right?
I think the northerns have always been more popular.
Yeah.
And probably a little easier to breed. They're also the biggest of all of the blue-tongued skinks if you don't count the shingleback.
Gotcha.
The northerns also come in a wide variety of not only intensity of patterns, as we'll see some upstairs, but they come in black forms and albino forms. So it's a little bit more diverse.
Yeah.
Of work.
So these are the kill lizards right
So
here.
there's a kill lizard there, really good pose for us, just posing like a handsome chap. Got another one here.
Oh, so you got quite a few of them here then.
A couple few. It was.
Are these all males or?
Those are both males. In fact,
This one nothing or?
He's in there somewhere.
Okay, so you go.
I don't know what sex that one is. I don't know what sex.
Oh wait, yeah, there. That's cool. Okay, you go ahead and record that one.
So that one of those two. That's a male. So that one I don't know what sex that is. But yeah.
Oh, let me let's turn it off really quick.
So our latest, my latest monitor project.
Oh, the croc monitors, the Salvadori.
So this is where we used to breed the water monitors, and they got ousted to over here, which is again still just a little bit too small.
Yeah.
And too difficult for me to get in there and separate and work them if I need to. But the crocodile monitors, let's get a better view in here. Whoop. You okay, Benny?
Yeah. I should have brought my wheelchair. Here we go, right here, behind you. How's your food response on these guys?
Well, they that's always an issue because of course you don't want tearing each other apart going after a chicken or a rat.
Yeah.
But they're strong. I've got to kind of be careful about separating them out with that.
Yeah.
That was a huge concern. That is always an ongoing concern. The biggest concern, of course, with breeding any large lizards is how they're going to get along initially and long term. So, initially putting them together, you're always like, oh, okay, we sit there for an hour or 3 and see what happens, and then you're worried all night about what's going on when you're not looking. And then, how they cruise for how they like one another long term is always an issue with any monitor trying to house them together either permanently or semi-permanently. If you think about what a water monitor can do to one another, what these guys can do to one another,
imagine, right?
They just kill each other.
Yeah, these things will send anybody to the hospital versus like a monitor.
Oh my goodness, yes. It's one of the few animals that actually is potentially. Right they're not going to come after us. They're fine.
No.
And she's got a little short tail. He's got his whole thing going on. But
and which one is this one?
That's the female.
Female.
The male is just behind it.
That's still a sizable animal.
And if you think about really crocodile monitors, of course they've got a huge amount of space, even in the wild or anywhere else, just as anything else does. But they couldn't be really brutal to one another in the wild
because they got
just
space.
Kill them. Yeah, they would kill. They would kill each other. It doesn't surprise me entirely that they get along well and are actually much more gentle towards one another than water monitors are when they come to the boarding process.
Oh, really?
Much so. Yeah, they do a lot of chin rubbing. They do a lot of just nuzzling and kind of settling up to one another. Water monitors are wham bam thank you ma'am, more like anything else. They really do a little bit of nuzzling, but really they just kind of go for it. Once the lockup happens, that's usually after that when things go horribly wrong.
So with the Salvadori, they get longer than water monitors, right? They get up to like 10 feet.
Longest lizard in the world.
Longer than Komodos, right?
Longer than Komodos, 2/3 of a tail, maybe 1/3 the mass of a Komodo monitor. So,
and I must say, what's weight on these guys for a big male?
Maybe 50 pounds.
Gotcha.
Maybe 60 pounds for a big one. Maybe I'm underestimating them because people tend to overestimate weights on a lot of these lizards. They look like they're going to be a lot heavier than they really are.
Yeah.
But it's all tail, so it's not.
Yeah, because I get a lot of my followers trying to, they say that the water monitors are not as big as the black throats or the
water monitors are allegedly the second largest, if not the largest than Komodo. Because in captivity, I haven't seen it. I was told that there's been a larger water monitor bigger than a Komodo.
Really? So and it's the mainland, of course, right?
I'm sure it probably was. It probably
different
was some
localities.
island thing. Yeah. But then again, if you think about the island things, what's a Komodo monitor? But
a
giant lizard.
Oh yeah, I want to see the male. I still gotta record you like an interjection. Huh? I still gotta record an interjection with you. Oh, there's 2 doors in this thing?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, the male's big, huh?
Yeah, the male's pretty big.
No, they're fine. Oh, I love that monitor. You had this one for a while, right?
I've had them both for a while.
They used to be enclosures over here.
Yeah, he was there. She was behind us, and she finally got big enough to put them together.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
not eating today.
So and don't they naturally bleed around their gums because of their teeth?
They do. They gnash. So they've got teeth that are so long that they go right up into the gums of the others. And yeah, they always have not always, but a lot of times have a little blood crossed around their lips.
Get some shots. I love croc monitors, but like I have a water monitor myself, right? But just to take care of that one guy is a lot.
It's a lot.
But I heard that these guys can tame out even better than water monitors sometimes. It's just the bite, of course.
Right. And let's be fair. Even tame monitors bite. You know, they
Yes,
get
it's
scared.
food
they
response.
They don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
when you wake them up, they just
Mine gets
happen.
freaked out by the wheelchair.
You never know. You never know.
You
what
dart it,
set 'em up.
you gotta come.
Dog runs across the room. You just never know.
He's not started if I move a little bit.
No, he'll go. He's actually not tame.
He's not tame?
No, he's until last. But yeah, he's we're getting there. We've built a lot of trust in the last few months since he's been moved into this cage. In that he's got the ability to get away. He doesn't feel so cornered.
Yeah.
So he'll come up, and if he feels threatened, he'll just go. Actually, I don't feel threatened.
Dude, these things are so cool.
Yeah.
I love the croc monitors, but they're not for everyone. And then like the colors on them, it's so freaking bright
They're
yellow.
yeah.
And do they have different localities of these things too, based off of size or
Well,
colors?
New Guinea's a pretty big island, and
Yeah.
I'm sure they occur on islands off New Guinea as well. So I'm sure there's going to be I've seen variations even with what's been coming in over the years, but what we're seeing here is pretty typical.
Yeah.
I've seen some that have got much larger spots. I've seen some that have much smaller spots.
It has hearts.
It has hearts. Yeah, it's kind of cool, right?
So cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, because then you're just basically gonna breed whatever pairs, right? You can't put two together and expect them based off colors, because not all monitors, cope with each other.
Right, and color is a bad thing to judge because you just know. You don't know.
You can't line breed these yet, or you
There's
just
variability.
just to breed them alone, right? There's only a few handful of people, right?
Yeah, that's kind of like the pinnacle in my mind of monitor breeding.
Oh, 100%.
In this.
I want to see you guys
What we
breed.
can do.
I would
Yeah.
love for you guys to produce these.
It's my goal. Well, it's
Because
my-
captive breeding these things is not too. I mean, right now they're still being imported, right? But
They are,
Yeah.
but they're still not inexpensive. But
yeah,
everything.
Which I don't think they should.
Everything will. Well, we need imports. We need to have.
We do.
imports coming
100%
across,
I agree.
Otherwise, people like
I agree with that.
like myself or anybody that wants to breed them.
And to get new genetics in.
Exactly.
Because you get
eventually
you.
bottleneck the
Yes,
the
exactly.
genes.
Lots of people understand that.
Right. So in order for these guys really to survive in captivity long term, there has to be a certain number of animals coming out of the wild, or a certain number of zoos and or other breeders doing exchanges. You can't just keep working with the same pairs of animals for generations and expect to have the same lizard
Yeah.
over decades.
That part's gonna be. I was putting the camera everywhere because I was super excited, man. That's probably my favorite right there, the Salvadori. All right, guys, we're down here at the East Bay Vivarium with Ada from Reptile. Hello, y'all.
So I think I've seen him.
Yeah, he's using this enclosure.
They hired.
So, what was your favorite animal you saw so far? You like the monitors, right? This one, yeah, this is my favorite too. Cause it looks just like mine.
Is this the one that they take for the shows? Like,
Yes.
Okay,
So
yeah.
he goes on birthday parties and
You saw him outside of here?
Yeah.
yeah. This is Boris.
Oh my god, I love this guy.
Let's try not to make a mess here, okay? Under heating pad there. Hey! Oh, big pig blanket in there. All right, out you come. Oh.
he's
So
a
you
big-
look at this lizard and go, well, how much does that weigh?
Yeah.
He must weigh 100 pounds. He probably weighs 50 pounds.
Yeah, 50 pounds. He's just like,
Maybe.
he's all muscle.
He's a brute.
Man, this guy's. So how old is he? He's probably what, 7, 8, or even a little bit older, maybe.
So I got this guy from a reptile shop that went out of business down in Fresno,
Okay.
and he was maybe 3 feet at the time. I got him. When was that? 7 years ago. So he's I don't know, maybe 10.
Gotcha.
10 years
So
old?
10 years old.
Yeah.
And so how does he do outside, like in the sun and all that? Because I know some monitors could like trigger, the sun triggers them.
Yeah, a lot of lizards get that way. He's
Right.
okay. We take him out to outdoor events all the time, and he's not an issue. But you take your lovely pet bearded dragon, give him an hour out in the sun, and
Yeah.
see what
Yeah, right?
see what animal he
because
turns into.
yeah. It's crazy. No, this guy's an impressive animal though. And this is practically a full grown, right?
Well, yes. I mean, he'll get bigger.
Yeah, definitely,
but
right?
He's probably not going to be like one of the giants that we were.
Because it's
talking about
Vivitatus,
earlier.
right?
This is Vivitatus.
Right, the Varanus Salvatore Vivitatus.
Yeah, sort of the standard.
Yeah.
Common water monitor.
And these ones are more captive bred. Well, they have the black dragons and stuff.
This guy was not kept. Well, I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I got him with this scar. Was a light bulb scar that he had gotten.
It happens too, especially in my.
Yeah, and I was hoping it was going to go away. It's actually not. It was, like I said, I had him.
Tells a story.
He was much smaller. Yeah.
Yeah, you can identify him. And he's a nice animal, though. Did you pet him at him? Because a lot of people, I mean, like you said, like these, you do need them. They need big enclosures, right? But like they make, I don't want to sell this animal too much, but like I feel like they're better of a monitor than most monitors.
They tame easier.
Tame easier,
Yeah,
right?
So if you're
It's
you're
just
talking
the
about
size of enclosure.
and that's the problem with all. I mean, a Burmese python is a wonderful pet.
Yeah.
They tame really well, but the practical reality is most people don't have the space for something like this, or a sulcata, or a Burmese. I wouldn't say that there aren't people that do, because there are, and I would hate to ever pass laws just based on size or practicality, even though most people can't. But the people that can, it's a very rewarding animal. It's a super duper
Squat
giant
down.
version, the biggest version of
squat down so we can see size comparison.
lizards that we can.
It's as long as her. Like, what is this? 5?
He's about 6 feet.
6 feet. Oh, he's longer than her. I love monitors though.
There you go.
So this enclosure, it has a story itself, right?
It does. So this enclosure housed Lemon Drop, which was a 15-foot male albino lavender retic that originally came from Jay Brewer.
Gotcha.
That was sold as an adult to the Academy of Sciences.
Okay.
And the Academy of Sciences had not this cage, but another cage built for that python.
So this enclosure was from them.
This enclosure was there, but they had another enclosure built first that was on their main floor, which was actually bigger than this one.
Gotcha.
And then they decided that after, 5 or 6 years of having him on the main floor, that they didn't want him on the main floor, they wanted to do some other exhibit. So they had this cage built in their bookstore. And it had to be smaller because it was in their bookstore, so kind of the Sciences bookstore.
Yeah.
And Lemon Drop went in there, and he was in there for maybe 5, 6 years or whatever. And eventually, Academy of Sciences said, we are redoing the bookstore, and we got to get rid of this cage and the snake. And they called us, and we rescued him from the zoo.
Yeah.
So we brought one of the hardest physical things I had.
I can imagine.
Store was getting this cage.
I don't even know how you guys brought this in here.
It was in pieces.
Pieces, right?
Even that was, trying to get through elevators at the academy.
Oh, wow.
Through stairwells. It was just a nightmare. I will never move it again. It's going out of here in hammered pieces. But Lemon Drop came here, and Lemon Drop lived maybe another 5 or 6, 7 years here.
And the other one with Lemon Drop was that one was the lavender.
Was the lavender, and he bred her, and we hatched their eggs, and so we had Lemon Drop. Lemon Drop's progeny out there somewhere. We didn't keep any of them.
Gotcha.
But funny story, Lemon Drop passed away probably 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and a year after he passed away, Cupcake dropped another litter.
Yeah.
Mostly
retained
infertile.
sperm.
Retained sperm.
Yeah.
So we hatched some babies from Lemon Drop after Lemon Drop had already dead. He was already dead. And we're hatching his babies.
That's great. That's
cool.
That's impressive. It's a cool story.
Old super. I was amazed that
The
he
legacy
was
lives on.
He's
Like,
super
right?
old snake. He's still able to breed. It's really cool.
Definitely.
This little forgotten area here is big lizards
area.
and whatever. But it holds our arachnids.
Yeah, let's take it here.
Blows my mind how this industry has changed over the years. We used to see
100%.
nothing but imports, nothing but big stuff coming in here.
Lights.
Yeah, nothing but big imports coming in here that you paid almost nothing for. A big rose hair tarantula for $15 or some crazy cheap price.
That was my first actual tarantula
Yeah.
back when I was like 12 or 13 years old. It was a rose hair.
And now we will sell little specks of spider for $300.
She just got one herself.
Yeah,
Would you get a Mexican Rennie?
Yeah, that's probably a $50 or $60 little slave,
Yeah.
right? That type of thing. You'll spend so much more on time, which is a great thing. You don't get to really enjoy it as a big spider for several years, but it's a really cool, a much cooler, I think, experience and way to go as far as captive breeding a wild caught.
100%.
The
So this is the
spiders are
main section for spiders or arachnids.
spiders and arachnids and other bugs,
Roaches and
millipedes,
stuff.
roaches, that kind of thing.
Do you have beadeds here too? Right.
Let's go take a look at that.
Okay. Okay. We'll
Do you want
check.
to go through? You don't need to see the rat room, do you? You want to see the rat room?
Whatever you want to show.
Let's
Where do you want to start? Yeah.
Let's start over this way. We don't have anything to hide here, so. What the heartbeat of the store though is not the reptiles. What keeps my reptiles going, what keeps your reptiles going, and the ability to do so is our rat room. We obviously still cannot produce enough rodents to supply ourselves and the public, but
I can tell you right now, I'm the smell in here. You can't smell nothing in here.
we work really hard to keep that down.
I would
Of
tell you
course,
that, and I've been to surrounded rooms
yeah,
before.
but it is the animal smell you smell when you walk in the front door. It's not the reptiles. It's this room.
Yeah.
But there's we've got filters, we've got fans, we clean.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got
Yeah.
all the live stuff that we breed here is what keeps our counter stock, which allows our customers to have what they need when they need it. You're not going to come here and find out that we're out of
one size,
one
right?
size, or
I know.
out of live rats, or out of
It
frozen
happens
rats.
at some stores where they'll run out of sizes.
And that's not their fault. They're not breeding rats. They're subject to whatever the suppliers
supplier,
have,
right?
and,
Yeah.
and that is so sketch, especially now.
So do you have these sectioned off to like mice, rats?
Yeah. So
and
basically,
other rodents?
from here back, these are all mice breeders. So you'll have your mice, and then what will happen is eventually every week we'll go through, and as we go through and wean and clean, they get moved over to here, so that we can have our employees just pull from one rack, so our employees don't have to go through everything.
Yeah.
Just go right here, know what you need, and grab what you need here. But beyond here, everything from here forward are rats.
Yeah, because this is being your majority of what people would want, right?
Right. Well, and it's
Not-
because they're bigger, they just need bigger space.
Bigger spaces too, right?
And it's the same thing. This gets cleaned once a week, and as we pull the weans and large stuff gets put over here. So same thing. The employees don't have to ravage through the whole room. They can just go to one rack and know they can find what they need.
And these racks, are they original from years ago, or are
We
they
built
remodeled?
these racks. They're modeled after the Freedom Breeder designs.
Because I have one too. I did a wood one, and it's been lasting quite a
Yeah.
while. So I was wondering how long the wood lasts.
Well, this was put in 1995.
The wood.
All of this.
Oh wow.
So yeah, this big.
Man, it's older than you, huh?
I would love, and at some point when I've got the money, to replace it all with Freedom Breeder stuff. It's old wood, and it's starting to
but
pick
it's
up the
still going,
smell.
I would
it
say.
still works, but
Yeah.
the rails are starting to get brittle, and I'm having to start replacing rails, and just the whole idea of being able to hose them down is a much better idea. So at some point, I'm going to just bite the bullet.
And then you have your buckets on top of the water.
No, this is all on. We've got
got you.
so it's all pressurized water,
Pressurized.
which is a great thing,
Yeah.
both for not having the water getting contaminated in the bucket.
Yeah.
The downside is you never want a loose rat in here because they will go and they'll chew right through
Oh,
the
the
water
hose,
through
and
the
it's
line.
pressurized.
And it's pressurized, so it'll
it's
just
gonna
go
be a
until
big
somebody
leak.
finds it, right?
Yeah.
It floods every tray all the way down.
I can imagine that.
It's a disaster. So yeah, getting rid of rats or making sure that we have no loose rats is key.
Gotcha.
Mice, harder to keep in cages, and less important. Not that we want them running loose.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
We don't freak out when we see a loose mouse per se. So the thing about rats is they take a minute to raise up, and they're not so quick to put meat on, especially.
Yeah, because what did they 2 or 3 months?
Yeah, they grow long and skinny, and then they finally start putting some weight on.
Yeah.
One of the things that we do is we import chickens.
Oh wow, you guys have chickens here too?
So yeah, and these are the meat birds that this is only a week old.
Oh wow.
Right here. It's like huge.
Yeah.
It's the size of a medium-sized rat, or bigger.
And then, so you guys do these? Okay.
But this bird, we will have to slaughter all of these birds by next Tuesday.
Gotcha.
They will be so big that most of our stuff.
No,
too
can't
big
eat
to
it, right? Yeah.
And it's at that point that these birds start having hard time walking. This is one of the meat birds that literally gets so much
heavy.
meat that they can't walk.
Gotcha.
After a certain weight. So as opposed to
Are these for your guys' personal?
we sell them too. No,
You
we
sell them too?
Yeah,
Okay.
we sell them both live and frozen.
Okay.
Mostly the small stuff. People seem to want the day old or week old or less
Because
stuff.
the nutrition and the day olds, you think they hold
So
that much?
I don't think there's nearly as much. Well, there's definitely not nearly as much meat. But what you get out of a bird is a bit more roughage from the feathers.
Yeah.
You're not going to get as much calcium. You know, bird bones are hollow and porous. Basically much lighter.
So what would you
than
recommend
red
for
bones.
monitor, water monitor?
I think a
Fish?
varied diet is really
Varied?
what's up. You know,
Yeah.
having a wide variety of mice, rats, chickens, quail, hamsters, whatever you got.
And there's certain fish you can't feed to monitors, right?
I would keep the saltfish down to a
Saltfish,
minimum.
right.
You know, I mean, I don't think everything in moderation is probably just fine. But I would not give them a steady diet of tuna meat or something.
No,
of that
exactly,
nature. It's gonna be a
right.
lot of salt.
Yeah.
And again, if you're just giving them things like fillets or
Which is still not
yeah,
bone,
you're
right?
not getting the calcium from the bones. You're not getting
Yeah.
the D3 and the amino acids from the brain.
Especially
and
if
the
it's
guts.
young baby, right? You want it to have all the
yeah, but if
ligaments
it's growing,
and
you
everything.
really want to make sure that your nutrition's on point. I would say always, but
Yeah,
certainly
yeah,
when
yeah.
they're growing, calcium and D3 is such a huge issue with lizards, and you don't get that just out of UV. You get that out of your diet as well.
100%.
So, So once we get out of the stinky room,
Not even stinky though. Like I'm saying, like
yeah.
I'm used to like bad rodent smells sometimes.
Some of when we started here,
Yeah.
I'm not talking bad. The people that sold me this business are the greatest people in the world. But
Yeah.
back in the day, things weren't as clean.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
eye-watering. I mean, literally, you go in there, your eyes would water. It would sting, and it was just like things have changed.
Yeah.
All right, so now we enter what we call our baby snake room, and this is we still have breeders here. We're trying to get rid of all the breeders that we have down here. It's probably going to take a couple more years for that to happen.
So this is all colubrids, or what is this?
It's a mix. So
Mix?
what we'll see is you'll see all the shoebox racks on the walls, most of which are empty because things haven't started hatching yet. But that's when we overstock all our baby stuff, all the baby snakes that aren't up the front counter. Obviously, you get a litter of 10 whatever's, 10
Yeah.
corn snakes. You don't have 10 up there. You got one up there. And
So
nine
you
back
you
here.
don't always have to keep it on the
Right,
out there.
right. You want to display one of everything back here, and then up there, and then
you can
everything
pull
else
over
gets
here if you
stashed
have
back.
to, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
So what's some of the animals you have back here?
So this room is set up like we've got this rack here is all incoming animals. Anything that comes in that needs to be quarantined before it goes out for sale ends up on this rack. And
Okay, what do you think about quarantine?
so I don't want to just throw anything out on the floor for sale until I know it's eating, until I know it doesn't have mites, until I know it isn't got some tweak that I haven't seen as it walks in. So we like to sit on them here for a week or three and see what they do and how they respond. And
How about for people at home that are even quarantined at home?
I think always a good idea if you have an extra room to set up your cage in and just observe the animal to make sure that anything that might be going on that maybe the pet store owner that sold you that animal, the breeder that sold you that animal, maybe they have missed. But yeah, it's just it's just
good practice, right?
practice. Make sure that you're not bringing anything into your entire collection that would otherwise be avoidable.
Okay.
Same thing here. I mean,
So you said these are all like the stuff. That
so
you bring
this is is
people
what,
that bring their animals here. That,
Right. They're just coming here. But a lot of times, and unfortunately, the way things are going now that COVID is over and people are getting back to work, we're seeing more and more of this stuff.
Okay.
And, unfortunately, people don't bring it to you when it's in good shape. They bring it to you
No,
long
when
after
it's,
they've stopped caring. And,
yeah.
and it takes
You have
sometimes
to-
a while to revamp it, to get it back up to speed. So that's what we'll do back here.
I like these racks too, even though it's
Same thing. These racks are definitely older than those racks. These
Yeah.
racks date back to this rack here. Dates back to the 80s.
to the 80s.
The 80s. This
That's
rack,
insane.
This rack wasn't even. No, I'm sorry. This rack was not. This rack was built here. But I do have racks. When I do
Yeah,
come
we'll
across
go
one,
around.
I'll point it out. Like that rack is older than third.
But I like that though. That's
Yeah,
cool, like because
yeah.
you just section them off too.
But yeah, this was. So this is
Ball python stuff here.
This is ball python stuff, and this used to be. This used to have another rack on top of it in the middle of this room.
Yeah.
Where the ceiling was on, so it was really high. So I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. I have 15 breeding ball pythons left. I used to have 50
15?
or more. 15.
That's not
it.
much.
No,
I have probably like half of that.
And I'm
for
going to eliminate most of these. I'm going to get down to just a few pairs of the ones that blue-eyed Lucy's.
stuff that sells, right?
Stuff that sells.
You can't sit on
Blue-eyed
stuff
Lucy's
that
and
doesn't
bananas.
sell.
That's it. Everything else, like ghosts
Yeah.
and I don't need to chase the crazy projects anymore.
There's too much now.
Yeah, and I can buy it. I can buy it cheap.
Yeah,
everybody's producing it, so just gonna work with what works for me.
And I'm always breeding ball pythons.
So one of the things that works for us, hey, you're okay now. Yeah, is black pines. Excuse me, black snakes.
Okay.
So everybody loves black snakes, right?
I do. Yeah,
so
that's my favorite.
There was a huge.
You heard you say black pine. That's
we'll get to those.
Okay.
But
oh my God.
black
Is
king
it house
snakes.
or is king snake?
That's a black king snake. So there was a big craze back starting
a couple years
just before the pandemic. These things were going for 300 or more a baby,
I remember 400 plus at times.
So it wasn't like we didn't already have a bunch,
adjusted, right?
Well, we adjusted. We ramped up the breeding project. Now we've got 30,
supply and demand, right?
30 of it. So these are going to go away. I get this down to 10 and get rid of the extra 20.
So you have 30 females?
30. I got about 25 females and 5 males.
5 males, gotcha. So it's
okay. Overwhelming. It's just we have way more than we can ever sell.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, it all gets wholesaled out, but it's like why bother? Why bother to wholesale?
Yeah, exactly.
So all that's going to go away.
And these are all baby colubras?
So these are all just baby stuff. Yeah, it's kind of separated by sections: milk snakes, king snakes, rat snakes. These are Asian rat snakes.
You do Asian rat snake breeding?
Oh yeah, you guys will see some of the cool breeders we got upstairs. So these are
We're just fast.
Cave rat snakes.
Yeah, the cave rat snakes are so cool.
And then we've got oh yeah, that's good. Future breeders.
It's good for me, huh?
Yeah. So trinket snakes. These used to be real popular back
Oh
in the
my
day.
God. So wait, hold on. What's this one?
So this is Elafe helena.
Okay, is this
This is this like a small Asian rat snake.
Wow.
That is an adult male.
Wow, what?
Or a subadult male.
Subadult, but still not
Females
too,
are only
they don't
about
get
4
too
feet
big.
long. They don't get big at all.
Wow.
But he can breed. He's definitely big enough to breed. Japanese rat snakes.
Is that albino?
That's an albino one.
Uh,
I find the
concentrate
regular ones
right
cooler.
That's a cool
They
one.
kind of have blue-green to them. Speaking of blue-greens, blue beauties.
Oh yeah, these ones right here. You probably sell a lot of these, right?
We do. And they don't look like much as babies. We'll see the adult.
Do you guys specialize in like a certain line of blues, or do you just?
No, I only have a pair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just I just breed what we like. I'm not trying to like specialize. So specialized in things that you come and you see it and like, oh, I like that, but I'll just take the regular one. But why breed that one? That's
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Too much money for anybody to
Yeah.
afford. As we mosey, the baby snakes change as far as what's on the racks, but it's the same thing. Corn snakes, children's pythons.
So you do children's here too?
Oh yeah.
So wait.
Actually, one of the coolest things we've got going on right now. We do all the dwarf pythons. I have every species.
So
of dwarf
they
python.
split up. What split up? Stimsons?
So they're constantly messing with Stimsons. They're giving it children's status. They're calling it Stimsons. They don't know what to do.
Because they were combined all at one point.
So all the intarsias that I consider valid, and the ones that are just kind of the main 4, the biggest ones, which are the spotted pythons.
Spotted, yeah. That's what I hate.
There it goes. We have those, and then children's pythons, which actually are a pretty big group. From what I've seen, even the spotted pythons are pretty big as far as the variability goes. But even children's pythons are kind of variable.
Yeah.
And so we've got spotteds, children's, and 3 different types of children's. We have the Stimsons and 2 different types of Stimsons, and we have the Anthills, which are
Anthills.
smallest
one, right?
Yeah.
And then do you do any morphs with them now? I don't know what they have nowadays.
The children's, I've got some what they call ghost children's.
Ghost? Okay.
And
that's a recessive.
It's a recessive trait. It's basically, it looks like hypomelanism, which is kind of funny because it's already a hypomelanistic snake. I think they call it a T-positive albino on much of the morph market stuff. But we'll take a look at that when we get up there.
I didn't realize I've been here all my life, and I can tell you, I didn't expect. Did you expect how big the store was? I didn't see all this back. Like, there's a lot more to this store than I. I remember you saying that. What's the square foot on this thing? Like,
it's only 4,400 square feet on the floor.
But
the Mazzies
top.
and then we even skipped a spot back there where we hibernate our snakes through the rat room.
Oh, you have a hibernation room too?
Yeah, a little hibernation.
So you guys do everything here.
Most of it, yeah.
You do the breeding because you don't. What'd you call it? you don't buy everything, right?
Oh no,
You
no,
breed a lot of
I
your
would
stuff.
say probably 2/3 of the snakes are bred right here in house.
Which this is smart, you know, that's the best thing. A lot of people want captive bred stuff, but like you said, it's also good to have imports based off of the new genetics.
But I still buy. We buy a ton.
Yeah,
but we
yeah.
buy mostly. We don't buy a whole lot of wild caught stuff. Most of what we're buying is from other breeders,
Breeders,
or
yeah.
from other distributors that are buying captive bred stuff. So yeah, it's kind of a good industry right now. I mean, you know, things have changed both better and negatively. I think if you were to wind the clock back 30 years, 20 years even, the variety of species that you would see would be huge. I mean, would be tenfold what you see. You go to a show today, and the species number is terribly low compared to what it used to be. You would see a lot of different colored things. I mean, there is every morph and every colored thing.
Yeah.
But the species count is actually quite low.
Gotcha.
Hang on a second. What's up? Okay. So that's kind of, in my mind, the downside to the industry is that we've lost a lot of stuff that we could work with, or a lot of stuff that used to be common is now quite rare.
Yeah.
But at the same time, much of what we're getting these days is all captive bred, and it's
Gotcha.
all hardy, it's all established, it's all ready to go. So I could buy something from another breeder for almost the same price that you might have bought it for as a wild caught animal from an importer back in the day. So there's that. The only downside is that there are just fewer options, fewer availabilities of species out there. So yeah, more baby stuff, baby snakes, baby,
The Kaluba rag.
it's just all just the leftover stuff.
Yeah,
That's
correct.
what it is. So,
You know, everything's
got,
wheelchair accessible here, huh?
that's sort of right, until we get to the stairs.
Yeah.
Our photographing area, so you know, you
I
got
see a little over here, the photo booth right here.
photo booth. This is our shipping area, where we ship out.
Yeah, because you guys do ship a lot too, right?
Not as much
No?
as we want to.
I see your guys' website did change a lot. I feel like.
Yeah, we're working on getting more stuff put up on our website.
I would say your social media person does a good job, like your Instagram person, whoever runs that.
We constantly going through
Because
people on that.
I like playing the game of Guess the Animal. Have you played that one?
Yeah,
Where they, like, where
I think
they
that's Kevin
zoom-
doing that these days, but yeah, it's constantly changing. Somebody's doing. We need somebody.
I always get it
to
wrong
run
half the
that.
time. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, well, we try and make it a little tricky.
Yeah.
These are like raise up baby lizards, bearded dragons that are being born. We'll see some of the breeders upstairs. Anything really cool headshot? Let's see.
So do you guys breed a certain line of beardies, like reds
Same
or?
thing, yeah. I breed reds, and you'll see as we go upstairs. We'll see it. I only have one colony of bearded dragons. I don't need very many.
Yeah. Well, what's the eggs out of them? What's the net clutch
There's
size?
about 15 to 20 eggs per clutch, and 3 or 4 clutches per animal per year.
Wow, look at that.
And this is a red trans leatherback.
Nice.
But some of this up. Wait till you see that. Wait till you see the adults. And then almost.
And these are all beardies, right?
Yeah,
The
these
rankins
are
are all.
This is
That's a nice red.
yeah, wait till you see the adults. This is I guess it's a month old. Yeah, it's a month. No. Yeah, it's 3/24. That was only born on the 24th of last month. So
Oh, wow.
It's like
Yeah,
3
not
weeks
even a
old.
month. Oh yeah,
3 weeks old.
yeah, I got you.
yeah, really young. So they sit back here until they get some size, which actually they get
Oh
some
yeah,
pretty good size.
or 20. Yeah.
And then out they go. Out they go to the floor. Boom. All
Okay.
right. More of this stuff. Again, just baby stuff that we.
You got boas right here too.
Boas.
So this is a lot of the what you call it stuff, the morphs and stuff, right?
What's that?
Morphs that you guys work with.
Yeah. So like this is a sunglow.
It's a nice sunglow too.
It's actually average. I can show you.
It's average.
Knock your socks
Cause you know
off.
why? 'Cause I've never been big into boas. I'm a locality boa guy, so I like the Surinams and the Guyanas and like
We see
stuff
some
like.
of the locality stuff we got. Not the pretty stuff, but interesting stuff.
Yeah, the morph stuff I'm okay with.
We got so much. In fact, one of the morphs that we worked
You're
with
okay.
started here. We'll talk about
Oh,
it
yeah.
in a minute. So again, this is another rack of breeders that we're eventually going to get rid of.
Okay. More of the Mexican blacks? Oh,
No,
variable. These are different.
Different types of king snakes. So
Okay.
these guys are about to drop eggs. These are the Durango Mountain Kings, Lapropeltis rear eye, but what's the Mexicanic rear eye.
Gotcha.
That's a kind of a rare snake.
Yeah.
Not a lot of folks breed those things, and I've got like 4 or 5 different pairs. Variable king snakes. Everybody loves variables. That's what's really great about variables is you just never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah. Oh wow.
And they're just all
So they come in black too?
yeah. These are all variable king snakes.
Oh, right there. Yeah, those are nice. Wow. They're good looking snakes.
And then, so there's 3 different major Mexican king snakes, mountain king snakes. You've got the Grierai, which are out of Durangos, the Thera, which come out of Nuevo Leon, and then the San Potosis, which, as the name would imply, come out of San Potosí.
Wow, I like those ones. They have like a gray reddish.
Yeah, they kind of look like almost like a gray banded king snake.
Gotcha, the gray bandits, yeah.
Out of Mexico.
And milk snakes are also a part of the king snake family, right?
Milk snakes are part of the king snake family. We'll see those guys upstairs.
Okay.
We've got also, just your stand. Oh, look, it's raining. What do we say?
Wow, look at that. Look at that.
So,
that's
mountain
them.
king snakes courting. They aren't actually locked up yet, but they're going to get
On their
there.
way too.
They're going to get there. So these are Applegate pyros. So these are Arizona mountain king snakes that obviously lack a lot of that black color that we normally see.
That's so cool. Appreciate that. That was so cool.
And of course, everybody loves hognose snakes.
Oh yeah, and I actually got one that's laying right now at home.
Oh, cool. I got one I should check on. Get out of the way. Nope.
Oh, we got this one's coming out.
Hey, where you going? Not yet. All right, you ready for the adventure going upstairs? So this is the new mezzanine that I was so excited about, that I was telling you that really changed a lot of way we work with our animals here. So from where we came up here, up these stairs to that yellow line,
Yeah.
and everywhere between here and there, this is just boarding. We don't use
really?
any of these cages for any of our animals. We don't put any animal in here but a customer's animal.
So you board a lot of animals here too then, huh?
When it's a holiday, every single one of these cages will be filled. Now, as you just see the yellow tags that are hanging.
Gotcha.
Like this table is one big boarding thing.
Yeah.
When you see a tag hanging, those are animals that are actually boarding. So right now,
People are on vacation or can't take care of it.
but come like next month when kids get out of school, this thing will fill up. It gets
Gotcha.
crazy.
Do you have a size limit on boarding?
We have not really per se. I guess I couldn't really do like a lot of big
snakes.
stuff. I've got some big cages down here, but what it is not a lot of them. So a lot of the big stuff, like the big sulcatas and stuff, reservations are encouraged.
Gotcha.
And you never know what somebody's going to be doing.
Yep.
But generically, your bearded dragons, your snakes, your leopard geckos, your whatever.
Normal pet.
Crested geckos.
Yeah.
We've got that covered, and then some. We're going to roll on right back.
Yeah.
You watch your head, because all of these beams will knock you up. These are all like bearded dragon cages.
Okay. And these are all like more of a boarding?
It's all boarding.
All boarding.
So yeah, like
gotcha.
All the dishes, all the animals. Everything that comes here doesn't go there, and it doesn't go downstairs. It's just all here. Customers don't see these things other than you. This is all off the floor. We have 1 or 2 employees given the day dedicated just to this, getting this stuff done, especially when it's full.
Yeah.
So it's really nice. Before we had boarding, it was a little bit scattered and was kind of more difficult to sort of keep a handle on where everything was. And as this industry has expanded, boarding has become more and more of a demand. So we had to make the space for it. We even put a air conditioner into our office, which we're now able to. We've pretty much put the kibosh on boarding frogs and chameleons during the hot months.
So you can do certain.
So now we can do pretty much anything, anytime.
Yeah, because your natural temp. And what's the
ambient? Oh, it gets 90 degrees up here in the
ambient
summertime and the daytime. Yeah, so
that's not good for
not good for a lot of dart frogs and chameleons. But now that we got the air conditioner in the office, we move them in there.
Okay.
So once we get to the yellow line, we reach the next part of the mezzanine. This is all just breeders.
Gotcha.
So beyond this, same thing. Nothing comes this way, nothing goes that way. We don't end up with any contamination. Nothing out of quarantine is going to come into our breeding area. Perfect. All right. So the breeding area.
You guys got Easterns here too?
Yes, we do.
Okay, we'll go there.
So the breeding area, much like the rest of the store, is kind of all over the place. We don't have everything so organized.
Yeah.
But for example, here we have our monitor breeding projects. Or to say a spiny tail monitor breeding project. Somebody here. Now this gal, this is my wiliest gal. She's about to lay eggs.
Oh yeah, she has some nice reds on her.
Oh, let me find the male.
Wow, the reds on this one too.
Better when he's not dusty.
Is that how big they get?
That's full grown.
Yeah.
Full grown monitor, and then you get everything that the big monitors do in the little monitor. They're just so cool.
And enclosures for these guys, with the 4-footers?
40 gallon tank would
Yeah.
be fine. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I'd like to see them something bigger, but you know, these basically I've got pairs in these, and I've produced over 50 babies last year.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I've done nothing to tame this thing.
I think if I get any other monitor, it has to be an Ackie, I think.
They are pretty cool. I'm waiting for my partner to give me the green light. We're going to get some other breeding monitor projects, which I'll show you where they're going to go in a minute. I want to do just a few other oddballs.
And then you got the female, another pair here, or two females.
yeah, this is 2 females. I've got another male raising up at the end back here of the bloodline. This thing is always hungry. This is a different bloodline too. This is I think this is the Reedus line. Where it has the yellowish stripe down the back, almost like a white stripe down its back.
You almost said they have different lines of them, right? I forget what
There are, yeah. I don't even know what these are.
Yeah,
The red, I just picked out the reddest ones I could find.
And then you got the Rankins that we're talking about.
Rankins we're talking
These
about.
are cool. I mean, like these are in the beard. How many family? What's all like in that bearded dragon family?
Well,
like?
so the ones we see in the States are really only 3. You know, Pagona viticeps, which is the bearded dragon. Pagona, which is now Brevis, which was Henry Lawson's eye, which was Rankin eye.
Yeah.
These, the Rankin's dragons. And then the one we don't see very often is Pagona barbatus, which is a big, mean, black, spiny one. It's not to be
I
mistaken
see
with the
the
monsters.
big black ones. I
That's
thought
the
that was
monster.
more of the sun.
Well, they do that, but I mean, a barbata is a grayer, bigger, meaner animal than what we're used to as far as what these guys are. And you wanted to.
Wow, look at the reds on this guy. That's insane.
In fact, the babies that you saw were his and hers that were downstairs.
Gotcha. So that one's leatherback or translucent?
No, they're both het.
They're het.
Yeah, and I've got leatherbacks.
Is a red? Is it a line bred thing or is it?
Red is a line. Well,
is it co-dominant trait or?
It's line bred. So
Line
yeah,
bred.
you're not gonna get, if you breed that to even a gray one, you're gonna get like
Diver.
You know, nothing's probably gonna be as bright as he is, but and they all want to be fed right now. They're all hungry.
Bearded dragons, yeah.
Nothing will be as bright, but you get something in between.
Gotcha. And then that Rankin's dragon, I think that's as big as they get, right?
That is a full-grown male.
Yeah.
Get your
The red's so cool though.
and a lot of these Rankins, same thing. You know, if
I like the oddball and stuff.
a
Like,
lizard gets a hand bit off or something, I will just
yeah,
raise it up and keep it.
because it happens when they're babies.
It happens
or,
when they keep them together, they're babies. But, yeah, here's a full-grown.
that's a nice one.
Actually, this might be a girl.
That's a nice one.
No, that's boy. That's boy. But yeah, it's full-grown. Full-grown.
Focus.
How cool is that?
think it's-
Every bit of a bearded dragon, just small.
That's so cool. You can see the size comparison between the bearded dragon and this.
Oh yeah.
And that's a female. Both females, right?
That's a male, but
Oh, this one's a
I've
male.
got females that are that size that still lay eggs, but females get a little bit bigger.
That's so cool. Has anybody freaking tried to hybridize these things?
They have been. In
They
fact,
have?
yeah, it's not my cup of tea, but
Yeah.
we have had babies on the floor. I've got a guy who regularly does that.
What is it? I mean, does it end up looking like a bearded dragon?
It looks
overall?
right in between. It's
It
called
does?
Vidicans. Yeah, they're a mid-sized animal. They're right in between.
Okay.
The problem with them, ought to be careful when you lift up and not hit your head. The problem with hybridizations, 2 problems with hybridizations is you get the stuff that looks right in between, which is fine. It's the stuff that's on the other end of that looks just like a Rankin's,
Yeah.
but has that bloodline of bearded dragon in it. That worries me, or vice versa, where you've got a bearded dragon that's got Rankins in it. Well, now you don't have pure lines, right? So
Yeah.
if it looks like something that you think is Rankin's dragon, and it's not, well, that's no good for your collection or the whole industry.
Because I know that with snakes, they have the hybrid between the green anaconda, yellow anaconda. They have the bat eaters,
There's
the
so
Berman,
many-
the
there's
retic,
so many. They're breeding different
diamond python, and carpet jungles.
ball python and carpet python.
Yeah, I do a lot of ball python.
Crazy. Ball python, Wilma python.
Ball python, Burmese python was a little off.
It's so nuts. But here's another thing to think about. You've got a ball python with a heart this big,
Yeah, see?
and a Burmese python with a heart
Yeah.
that big. And you hybridize them.
You think some things are not meant to
What's
hybridize?
going to happen inside?
Yeah.
Maybe it's all going to be okay.
Yeah, we
Maybe
don't
it's
know,
not.
right?
Maybe it's
Unless
gonna
we
have
do
a
an
large
actual.
heart. Maybe it's
Yeah.
going to have a
You're right.
shrunken heart. Or
So
I don't know.
you're saying that if you do hybridize, make sure you do like, maybe, I mean, I don't,
I don't. It's not my cup of tea.
cup of tea, but
I
like
suppose
some
if I were to do
shouldn't.
it, I would try and do it like either something that's going to be so radically different from everything
Yeah.
else, like you know, like you take your
God, this thing is.
I don't know, but whatever. It's going to be completely look like nothing else, that you can never be mistaken in that regard, or something that naturally does it anyway. You know,
Yeah.
something that has a integrate zone where it's okay.
Yeah, 100%. So this is what I love this thing right here.
Oh yeah, everybody.
This is my favorite. She held one of these.
Snake, indigo
before.
snakes. They are very unique in a myriad of ways.
And they're not. They still can't transfer over state lines, right, and all that.
The Endangered Species Act works great when people pay attention to it in regards to like development. Right.
Okay.
So this snake's biggest problem isn't the pet trade. The snake's biggest problem is golf courses.
Okay.
And condominiums.
Oh, places where they're building.
In Florida and Georgia on the coast where they're breeding, or logging on the longleaf pine forest, where these guys and their close cousins, the black pine snakes, come from.
Yeah, because then this is more of a they're the red phase and black phase on these guys,
Red
right?
phase, black phase. Yeah, this guy is actually part of my
Oh, it's a big one too.
part of
Nice.
my old line.
And they could get a lot bigger than this, right?
They do. He's not a huge one. He's probably about, what is he about now?
3 year, 4 years?
No, he's 10 years old.
10 years,
Yeah,
okay.
I'll show you a 2-year-old one in a second. But
Yeah, you know what? I'm
he's
off
not-
on that.
he's
I don't know
not
why
gonna
you
be
said that.
he's probably about 7 feet. So we talked about some of the turtle projects I was doing. I'm not doing tortoises so much anymore as we are doing box turtles.
Box turtles.
And again, this used to be one of those pets that you'd see for $40, you know, coming in the hundreds from, you know, the Carolinas or Florida or whatever. It really rivals any star tortoise or radiated tortoise or
Yeah,
any other
100%.
beautiful
Look at that
shelled
thing.
animal, and it's the perfect size.
Yeah, it is.
And being an omnivore, they're
They're
really
temps,
easy to
right?
care for.
Temps
Yeah.
are-
They can take insects, they can take worms, they can take vegetables and fruit, they can take monkey chow, like dog food.
Monkey
You feed
chow
them
too?
anything.
I remember my first time seeing monkey chow was here. I was like, wait, you have monkey chow?
Yeah, what are they doing with
Yeah,
monkey chow?
no. That was a long time ago. That was like 20 years ago. I remember seeing monkey chow here. Because you feed that to iguanas too, right?
Oh, I love it. They love it.
You should feed that's your iguana. Monkey chow?
Monkey chow. Monkey chow, New
Like
World monkey
big
chow.
nuggets, right?
Made for leaf eater, yeah. It's kind of like, we put it on croutons on their salads. Soak it in water, gets kind of squishy and puffy like damp bread.
Yeah.
And we just kind of sprinkle it on their stuff. This is one of our next projects. Hopefully we'll get these
Wow.
guys going this year. This is the clownagamas.
Yeah, so they're a morph, right?
Nope. This
No?
is exactly how it looks like in the wild. And this is a wild animal. I mean, I've had them for a couple of years, but
Is it this one that's invasive to Florida?
it looks like this.
Looks
That's
like
a
that.
Gamma stelio. No, it's not even stelio. It's a Gamma
it's
something
one of
other.
those,
But
right?
Yeah, it's very closely related. This is basically the desert version of that. Like this one. This one is. No, she's not yet. This one's, I think, gonna go. Real soon. You.
You feeling for follicles?
Yeah. Yeah, still not gone yet. Still haven't gone yet.
Yeah, I always wanted to learn that technique with my ball pythons. Brian tried to show me, Gundy.
Yeah, it's kind of hard with ball pythons sometimes. There's times when you can.
You use
times
a
when
paper
you can't.
towel trick too. There's
use
a
my t-shirt.
T-shirt.
Drag my
What
t-shirt
is it? What does it do? What is the T-shirt?
Just
or
gives
paper
low
towel?
resistance.
The resistance.
You just instead of your thumb sticking to
Yeah.
the scales, the scales slide right through. You can feel that. Whoop, whoop,
With
whoop,
ball
whoop.
pythons, there's this poop that they poop out right before right after they have their prelay shed, and I get this yellow poop with ball pythons. I don't know if you ever see that. I don't know.
I
what-
see,
It's
yeah.
a yellow small piece of poop, and I know it's gonna lay
It's
egg.
probably the urate. Probably the
Urate, yeah, urate,
Because
right?
they've not eaten much, so now they're just
And
putting
then when I
out
see
urate.
that, I know that's
It's time to go.
Time.
Yeah. Unfortunately, my prettiest one, who was related to the one I was
Oh,
telling you
it's
about,
some
that
big
Steve's got.
beateds too, huh?
What's that?
Those are big beateds.
This is a small one. My big guy that just passed away was like not twice the size, but way bigger than this dude and way prettier.
And it's good temperament, huh?
This is why I pulled him out. He's actually nice. But yeah, he's
Dude, I love the scales on these guys. Wow. This is she probably pet she had her YouTube video here and she was petting one of these.
one of these guys.
I don't know which
Could
one.
have been this guy. Could have been one of the guys that was.
So it's probably them, yeah. So you had these ones.
He was super tame. The guy that passed away was like
Oh, it probably was him then.
pet-like.
So do you find it to have two males when you breed is better?
Oh, what I like to do is I don't put the males together with the female. I put the males together and let them wrestle a little
Wrestle,
bit,
right?
and then I put them in with the female.
Then you put them with female. I heard about this too. So,
Yeah.
so can you just have a pair and be successful?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
But it does help to have another male.
I think it does.
Okay.
I think it does.
Okay. So you just pulled it out. Like, have you been holding this one, or are you just?
He's coming
There's
along.
a way of
He's-
holding.
So right now he does not like being stroked.
Yeah.
He's getting real pissed about that. But he's okay in my hand, and he's okay like traveling hand over hand.
What's the start? Well, if I was gonna start, I mean, right now I'm doing gloves only right now.
Yeah, you want to start with gloves. And then basically once you can start doing this and not have him jerk like that,
Yeah.
take the glove off. But when
The
he's
skin, I heard skin, even with monitors, I noticed that to touch the feeling of your hand skin, you know, the heat from your hand or something. I feel like the monitor likes that better than the actual fake glove.
that could be. I think your hand's going to be a lot more supple. It's
Yeah.
not going to be quite as well. You're going to feel exactly how much pressure you're putting on that lizard
Exactly.
versus the glove, which
Glove,
is gonna be
right.
more and more pressure until you actually do feel the pressure. So
Gotcha.
You're going to be hitting them harder with your glove than you would be with otherwise.
And you produce this one, huh?
No.
No.
So this is a new bloodline that I'm raising up. This is the bandit stuff. I don't know if you've seen. Steve is working on this too.
I think so.
A really cool bandit.
bandit cool, yeah.
Animals. In fact, I'm picking up.
It's a high yellow one too. It's really high yellow
I'm
and
picking up another litter
no,
of
hardly
these.
no blacks in it at all.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a very yellow animal.
But
when it
I'll
grows.
have another litter of these I'm picking up. Next
I wish
week.
he could have produced those hypos that hypo male, but I guess it's not. He has a big hypo male that he brings to the shows.
Yeah, that's what he got first.
Yeah. Oh, you got that one?
That's what he got
Okay.
first.
It's like 20 years old or something.
He's a super girl.
Yeah. Rainbow boa. So
Rainbow
okay,
boas,
I have a
everybody-
question about rainbow boas. With the Brazilian, the hypo line, I think it is.
One of the two hypo lines.
Were you the first? Yes.
They call
That's
it
what I
now-
remember. I was
yeah.
like,
To be fair, they call it now the Lockwood line. And Mike Lockwood, who used to work for us,
Yeah, sorry, him.
produced those. Oh gosh, that was back in the early 90s, like 93 or whatever. And he brought in a litter. I'm like, Mike, you getting rid of those two light ones? He's like, yeah, I want to get rid of them all. And I raised those two up, and they turned into something special. And we started producing them. And Mike took a while to kind of catch up and produce them again, but we kind of gave up on it. It's not a really strong line.
The hypo?
The hypo.
Yeah.
So we kind of gave up on that project. Not entirely, as we'll see, but
Yeah.
It.
But you're the first ones to
We
produce
were the
it.
first ones to do it. No, Mike was.
Mike was.
Because
Okay.
he got the animals here.
Gotcha.
And he produced.
That-
produced the
yeah, he
first
brought
litter.
heads.
Then brought the babies in.
Uh-huh.
And I bought the litter from him. And
Okay.
there were two hypos in there. I'm like, you want those? You don't want to take those?
Yeah.
He's like, no, I want to get rid of them all. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, because my brother, I think that was probably 20 years ago, maybe. He was considering getting a hypo from you guys, and that's when they were priced high.
Really high.
Yeah.
I think you can get a couple $100 now.
Yeah.
But the long story longer was that I raised them up, started producing them even before Mike started producing them, before anybody really knew what it was.
Yeah.
And that's how we got the name EBV Hypo. But the credit really is Mike's.
Gotcha.
First guy.
So besides the Brazilian rainbows, is there another animal that you the first people to
So there's
reproduce?
a few. We have. I'll show you a bloodline of red-tailed boas. It's just a line-bred morph that's the EBV red group boas.
Okay.
Which I will show you those. It's basically just a pastel line.
Yeah.
Same stuff that Jeff Ronnie started with.
Uh-huh.
We started exactly the same time. In fact, we got those animals from him.
Okay.
Nobody knew what pastel was or any of these things were. This was back in '91 or '92.
Yeah.
And we just started breeding the prettiest boas we could together, and stuff we got from him. And
Yeah.
basically our lines kind of went two different directions. Ronnie has his, and we have ours. And that's that.
And then you guys also do falsies too, right? And all that, or you stop the falsies?
So that's my sad story. I've produced false water cobras every year for the last 20 plus years. 20
Yeah.
More on years. Doing the exact same thing I do every single year.
Yeah.
I put my entire colony in hibernation this year, like I do every year, in exactly the same spot. The only animal I lost were water cobras, and every single adult water cobra passed away in hibernation last year.
Wow. How
This
many? How many did you have?
6. Giant.
Yeah, because I have a big female. I have a 1.2, one American hypo male, and one American hypo female, and then I got one normal, and those normals are. And I'll ask you some questions off camera about like the incubation.
Okay, yeah. And I'm raising up a new fleet. I just basically took all the babies I had from last year that didn't sell.
Yeah, I had a clutch that went bad. I was so mad. I was hoping because I produced Barron's racers last year, which I was happy about.
That's a really good thing these days.
Yeah, Barons
Very
is,
expensive animal now.
yeah, and then the falsies, I had those eggs, but they didn't go. And then I had those hognoses, of course, that I have in the incubator right now.
So, what are the other
Oh my God, that's a white one, huh?
rainbow boa morphs and things that we do? Are
The Lucy?
well, these are leucistic.
Yeah.
But they are. This is a Colombian rainbow boa.
Yeah, it's cool. I never
So
seen that. I didn't even know
the
they had
Colombian
Lucy's in
rainbow
those.
boas, come in a few different morphs. This is the leucistic, which is my favorite.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, when you start messing around with all these morphs,
What
you
Lucy's, do
lose-
you have genetic or defects or anything?
It's no, I mean just lacking the black pigment, which of course is what makes that iridescence. So without that black pigment, you lose a lot of that
Yeah.
rainbow sheen. This was the first that we not here. Where are you? You're here. So this was produced here for the very first time. So this is what a Colombian rainbow boa
What?
is supposed to look like.
Yeah. Colombian
kind of,
though. A
faded.
little bit lighter pattern or lighter.
Yeah, not as heavy pattern, not as good color. But the patternless ones,
That's insane. That looks like a different snake.
yeah, that was produced here for the first time back in, again, mid-90s.
Wow.
A wild-caught female that came in patternless. So we just started breeding for that.
Gotcha.
Breeding that female, and lo and behold. And then one of the other patterns.
Let me make sure. Okay. Wow, they have the C negative.
And
C negative just came out not that long ago with Brazilian
Brazilians
Andes.
now have an
Yeah.
albino as well, and I am hoping that that is pure. I'm pretty sure that it is.
Do you have? Are you in that project yet with the Brazilians or not
I don't
yet?
have the albino project.
Gotcha.
Again, I'm still looking into that, whether or not it's pure or not. Whether
Yeah,
to use this
gotcha.
to
You-
get that into that.
Oh. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So, do you have success with those yet, or is that your first only?
I'm raising that up.
Yeah.
I've been producing.
You have pets too, or no?
I'm
go
not
breed to that?
bothering with pets anymore. But
Yeah. You have a visual to visual on that yet?
No. You can do heads. You can do head to head. But
Okay.
I'm just gonna do straight.
Yeah.
So I'm not
Yeah,
gonna do
gotcha.
some heads, so
Yeah.
Why bother?
Yeah. So you have pure, 100%.
So we were talking about Asian rat snakes, and
How are these guys when they come out?
they don't like being touched.
Yeah.
These are the cave
These
rat
guys'
snakes.
strike range is crazy,
This
right?
guy, yeah. This gal right here is pregnant, or gravid right now. You see how distended she is. Hey, don't be weird. But how much color they get as they get older. A lot of really cool peaches.
Yeah.
Blue on the head really accentuates. You get this really super white stripe on their tails.
Oh wow.
These are the
a
blue
nice
beauties.
one.
So blue beauties, again, they get their color later on. So
That's a nice one. This has been full grown, right?
So these are pretty much full grown.
Yeah.
Blue beauties are one of the biggest rat snakes I've ever had. I had a male that was 10 feet 2 inches once,
Okay.
long ago.
Yeah.
These guys are probably around, that gal's probably around 8. This
Yeah, they're
sure
definitely
looking at me right
sizable.
now is probably around 7.
Definitely sizable
But they're
animals.
young, they're gonna get bigger.
Good looking too.
Yeah, they're interesting. I remember they're laughing. So this is another one of the bigger,
Wow, that thing's insane.
bigger rat snakes. The
That's a
Taiwan.
huge one. Taiwans get this big?
Yeah, look at that thing. That's the female, dude.
Dude.
The males get bigger.
Yeah.
That's just a small young male, but
Good looking animals though, man.
they are.
Wow.
Now, a lot of folks talk about big black snakes, and pine snakes are I don't know, they're one of my favorites.
Yeah. Okay, right here. This is it, huh?
But I mean, they are every bit as big as that indigo we just had out.
Yeah, and you know what though? Man, I don't know.
They've got such a different feel to their.
So how many?
scale.
What's your ratio on black pines?
I think I have 3 males and 4 or 5 females.
Gotcha.
And I'm gonna slim this down too because I just want to get down to like stuff
Wow.
that's like super. So what I'm
they're
literally
all
looking to do is trying to get rid of
Pituopus.
all the white. I
What
just
is
wanna
this?
get solid.
Pituopus.
Melanolucas. Well, no, it's not Melanolucas. Loading eye is the species. Loading eye. I guess it's Pituopus melanolucas loading eye, but I think it's just Pituopus loading eye at this point.
Gotcha. And these get. What's the size on these guys compared to like?
These guys are probably what the.
Are these smaller than?
So what's that?
Wow, that's a big one right there, huh?
6 feet.
Yeah.
It's a 6 foot.
Sizable animal though. But that black is insane.
And they have a very. We felt the indigo, which is a very nice feel. This is very rugose and almost like a lizard feel to them.
Yeah.
Really kind of cool.
I mean, if you want to go the route of the indigo, I feel like that route is.
Right. I mean, you got options. You got king snake. You got the pine snake.
Yeah, all different sizes, right?
We've got black house snakes. We can see in here in a minute. We do a lot of other Pituopus, a lot of the bull snakes.
Gotcha.
That's obviously an albino. hypo.
A lot of them, huh?
Snow ghost.
Oh, that one's nice.
Ghost.
You guys do white-sided here?
That's white-sided.
Oh, that's
this is head for white-sided. Male is white-sided, patternless, albino, blah 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 blah. He's everything.
Yeah, I got all those genetics in there.
This one just laid eggs this morning. Actually, she's a het for everything. So we'll see what we get out of her.
Wow, that's a nice one. See, I even like ones that look like that. You know, like have more of that normal pattern in them.
One of the most underrated snakes we sell. She's about to lay eggs there. Yes, box. Licorice rats.
Oh my gosh,
Right? I mean,
that thing's crazy looking.
freaking gorgeous.
Yeah. Wow.
Look at this.
So licorice rat, what is this? I never.
So it's just a black rat.
Black rat.
But it's basically
It's
a white side black rat.
Wow, I didn't even know they had white side
And
black
we sell them
rats.
for so cheap, and nobody buys
And
them.
they get long. They get like what,
Yeah,
8
this-
feet
that's
long?
about
No,
it.
no,
About
6 feet.
yeah-ish. But they're just awesome. They're great pets. They
Because I had a
have a
we
variety
have
of
Lucy's,
different-
right?
Oh yeah,
Black rats.
I'll show you those.
But this is insane. Are these? Is this a new more?
Yeah, we've had these forever.
Yeah?
Forever.
Wow.
You know when you see them as babies, the sides are pinks. It doesn't look as cool, and it's
Yeah.
not as striking. But when somebody pulls out an adult, they're like, "Where'd
Yeah.
you get that?" I'm like,
People don't want to work
right
for it.
there.
They don't want to do the raise up of it, right? They don't,
Yeah, a lot of people they want to see the big
instant.
wow.
Yeah.
So then we have. Oh, that was in shed. Let's see, got in shed. So we have the Leucistic Texas, which
Wow, Texas. So this right here, this is my brother's first snake. I think it was just a loose back in the 90s.
they're cool snakes, but there's also the blacks. I know it's in shed, but you can't tell them apart. So I've got to be very careful about where I put each one.
Yeah.
And we were talking about hets before, and actually I do use hets with these guys.
What's this right here?
That's
This-
a het. That's what they
that's
would
a
normally
het.
look like. That's a black rat snake.
Black
That's
rat
a het
snake, right?
for leucistic.
Gotcha.
But I use
That
hets
was-
again for trying to get away from the bug eye.
Yeah.
When you breed a lot of the Lucy to Lucy, you tend to get a lot more of the defects. So I use the hets to plug into that.
Yeah, because
Now,
I got before my accident, I had a black rat snake, het Lucy. I was raising up for a while.
They're cool. I mean,
Yeah.
they're actually called, when they're like that, that's not what they look like in the wild, because it's het. It's called a rusty rat snake because they have that
Rusty.
that
I remember that.
red background. In the wild, they're much more like
Those are on the East Coast, right? All black rats.
Yeah, that's a
That's
full
that's
black one.
yeah, that's a nice one.
Now we're
That's
talking
like a poor man's indigo or poor
Ish.
man's.
fish.
Yeah.
So we're talking milk snakes. Oops.
Okay, this is my
Your pinkies. These are these are
albinos.
Honduras.
That's what I got.
Mostly albinos, or in this case a hypo.
Gotcha.
but-
the hypo stuff is cool. What's the one with shoot when it's like gray and red?
Oh, that's a gray banded king snake.
No. But with
Oh,
the
Anries.
Anries,
Yeah,
right?
those are
Yeah,
cool.
Anries,
Those
yeah.
are cool. And oddly enough, back in the day,
That's a nice one.
I used to breed specifically not tricolor, bicolor, standard before albinos and all that other shit was even around.
Yeah.
Bicolor Hondurans, and my thing was to try and get the bands evenly spaced, much like this guy is.
Gotcha.
Myself and Van Damme, I don't know if he's even still around. We had those lines. Again, that was a line that was started here, and nobody cared then, nobody cares now. But
You know what's cool? I see your passion behind everything. Like, you know, you can show this tour a bunch of times. I can see your passion behind everything you do.
so the coolest milk snake, and again, we go right back to what we were talking about. People love white snakes.
Yeah.
And people love black snakes.
Oh, right.
Oh, and she's in shed. But
House?
that's a milk snake.
Oh, it's a milk.
So it's a black
Wow,
milk.
It's hard.
So the black milks are one of the biggest milk snakes.
Black milk's exact, yeah.
And I'll show you some babies because the babies start off looking just like that.
Gotcha.
And eventually, ever as time goes on, here we go, turn the jet black. And we can tell this snake.
Because they're like normal color when they're like babies, right?
Yep, I'll show you some babies.
Yeah.
But when they're, if we were to turn them and you see their skin is
You can
white,
see- yeah.
we know this is a milk snake. If we do this to the black king snake, the skin would be brown in between the
Okay.
scales.
See, I don't know this. Yeah. Did you know that those? Have you seen the babies of those? They look like a regular milk. You know milk snakes look like, right? Like colors and stuff.
We'll show you babies.
Oh my gosh! So this is a.
That's a 2-year-old, almost a 2-year-old indigo. That's the female.
Wow.
In another year.
This is the red phase, of course, right?
That came from.
And so you guys, have you guys bred these before in the
Oh
past?
yeah, we used to breed them long before anybody else did. We had so again, that's a good story. Back in the early '90s, late '80s and early '90s, we were breeding indigos in large numbers. We had quite a few adults, maybe 20 adults.
Yeah.
And we were breeding them here for quite some time. In fact, the guy that does the rat room now, James, was doing all of indigo breeding back then.
Yeah.
And the owner, that was before I was even an owner, and the owners at the time had met a friend who was building a snake room in his house, and he said, hey, I can really go crazy with these indigos and some other projects. So we loaned him to him. His name is Robert Seib.
I was gonna say Robert Seib. He's out of Walnut Creek, right?
He's out of Walnut Creek.
Yeah.
And so
it's like early 2000s.
this was like
Before,
long
yeah.
that. This was early '90s, and he did very well with him for a while.
Okay.
And then, as all things do, things kind of went sideways for whatever reasons. I don't know if it was a heat issue or a cold issue, but the indigos eventually just all went away one at a time. And I was bummed, but because we never really got them back, whatever.
Yeah.
But the bloodline was lost. I'm like, shoot,
That sucks.
those were all animals that were distinctly our bloodline, and I was like, not heartbroken, but just bummed out.
It sucks, yeah.
So I'm rebuilding my indigo line, and I bought this animal, and I'm like, well, and I was talking to John from Black Pearl, and he was selling me this animal. He's like, this is one of my better animals. He said, I've got this, and it's a really nice line.
Yeah.
It comes from Subzala, which I can't even remember what it was.
Yeah.
And Seib, I'm like, that's Seib line?
Seib.
Oh, I have to have it.
Yeah.
I had to have my line back, so I got my line back.
That's
so,
cool.
So
It came back to you, huh?
Little round circle, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a cool story.
Back to breeding indigos. Your project. Here,
Oh my
got,
gosh, this is the Barons.
The Barons. So
this is I have the two babies. This is what I produced last year.
yeah, and Barons. And this she grab it.
You see their noses on them?
So these guys have. She's probably
They have
a
different.
little bit, but they've got
Do
this little,
males have more of a pronounced nose? I feel like my male always had more of a. They're all different. I love this species. There's blues.
So yeah,
browns,
so this is
greens.
That's the green.
Yeah.
And this is a green that's
Turquoise.
head for blue, right?
Okay, I was gonna say.
And then there's,
So is this an indicator of head for? Sorry.
I don't know, but I know that she
I was
is.
talking to Glenn about it.
I don't know, but I know that she is. Let's see, here's Rabbit, and that little thing is the male.
Yeah.
He's just small.
Yeah.
Not by. He's only small because he's young, not by.
Exactly. Still a good breeder.
So that animal comes from Brazil, which
Yeah.
is a long way away from Southeast Asia.
Oh my gosh, a rhino?
That's a rhino rat. So this is Southeast Asia's version
so
of the
cool.
same thing.
You want to record this for your
A
thing?
little bit more of a arboreal animal. This is the male, who's kind of a nice bluish color.
Try to get the nose on it.
And there's the
Recording it.
female here. Now these guys aren't quite as cool as
Unicorn.
the Barons in that they're born gray.
Okay.
So it takes them about a year before they start to get their color. And they don't start off on mice the way Barons do. They get fish fed or frog fed.
Yeah.
They're kind of a pain in the butt to work with, to be honest with you.
Oh, that sucks. You sent them to get them off? Or?
Yeah, we start off on fish, and then we eventually sent them on fish scented pinks and or fuzzies. But it takes 6 months.
Mandarin rats too?
Mandarin rats.
Oh my god, Mandarin rats are so cool.
I'm going to show we get babies downstairs for sale. Oh, she's in shed.
Man, you guys got all the cool stuff up here.
Yeah, we poured it all for ourselves.
Wow, that's a nice one. I always wanted to get into Mandarin rats. These are also Asian species, right?
Yep. This is another one of our big Asian. We're really big in Asian rat snakes. There's kind of a wide variety of cool colors. That's not so you've got some.
Wow. Oh, okay, hold on. What is this, bamboo?
This is bamboo.
It's a nice one. When I was a kid, I used to know every snake species almost, but as I got older, I feel like I lost my touch.
Well, I think we all lose some stuff as we get older.
Yeah. Enjoying it?
Now, we talked about some boa morphs, which I have morphs, but I also have locales.
Oh my
Why
god.
are they together
Hold
this
on.
small?
This is not IMG?
No.
This is an actual locale.
This is locale. This is Tara Humara. Tarahumara are
okay.
the mountains just south of Arizona.
Okay.
In northern Mexico, which makes these guys the northernmost species of red-tailed boa. It is also the smallest species of red-tailed boa.
Wow.
This boa occurs where snow drops.
Okay.
So they will be hibernating in the wintertime. They really do shut down for plumation in the wintertime. But I get these guys pretty darn cold.
How many species of boa are in Mexico?
That's a good question.
Mostly in Central America.
To be honest, they still consider most of the snakes imperators. They have not gone out of their way to do a good job of identifying all the various different localities and or species of boas yet. But I'm sure there's going to be dozens and dozens down the pike as more and more college kids get something to write about. But these are full grown. These are probably 7 or 8 years old.
Does Glenn work with these too? I saw.
He might.
Yeah.
But we also have morphs of those. We have.
Morphs of those already?
Yeah.
Oh
there's
my
hypo.
God.
This is the hypo, which is not super
That's
hypo,
crazy,
but
though.
it's really a good looking snake.
That's crazy, dude.
And it's pure. So I don't, it's not something that I'm freaked out about.
You don't see these at shows, right? Like these are not really.
No, and the guy that was actually doing a really good job with these things retired. That was Randy Wright.
Okay.
Was really doing in fact, much of this is his bloodline. This is something that this animal is.
Is that red, like a butt?
This is actually a Nicaraguan boa that I produced.
Okay. Does blood descend?
Well over 15 years ago. This animal's really old.
Okay.
She never got big. So
Okay.
I'm breeding. I'm breaking my own
Nicaraguans
rules.
don't really get that big, do they?
I've had some that are they get 7, 8, but heavy.
Yeah.
But this one is just staying so small. So I'm breaking my own rule and I'm breeding the Tarahumara to that.
Gotcha.
Just to see what I might.
You can mix. Yeah, I mean, a fun little project. Yeah. Boa's already kind of like BCIs, especially.
Oh, they're a mess.
Mess,
Yeah,
right?
All right, watch your head.
Right. And then, man.
So we'll get to that in a second. But this is a python rack here.
Oh man,
this
this
is
is
on this side. What do we got? White lip pythons.
Oh, you do. This is northern.
These are the southerns. These
Southern.
are the
Oh, you do
blacks.
southerns here too.
I don't do the northerns.
'Cause you can tell with the northerns are more gold, right? They're more
We'd be biting us,
bronze.
too. Yeah, we'd all be bleeding.
Yeah.
But yeah, these guys are they're smaller.
What's your ratio with
They're
these
tame.
guys you have right now?
I have a pair. Well, actually, I've got 2.1.
Have you been successful yet with these?
I'll show you the female who's not at the size yet, so no.
Gotcha.
We have bred the golds before, but these guys, she will be another.
You remember the one you held that Aaron has?
Hey.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're pretty. I like them. I've always.
I love them. Yeah.
Like this is a project that's upcoming.
Wait.
Not a lot of people
Hold
see
on. Madagascan?
this. Yep.
Oh my
Same.
gosh! And there's this. What line is this one? There's the
So
green.
this is the line. So there's
There's
this
two of
is-
them, right?
Well, there's more. There's two different types. So there's the mandarin and the greens. This is
Gotcha.
the mandarin. So greens are my favorite. They're my prettier. These are prettier as babies. Got red. And
This thing,
crazy.
you have to see how these actually look when they're
They're
like.
pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, even as adults.
You can hold it like that?
Oh yeah.
Dude, look at the face on this thing.
Yeah, they look like
Oh
they've got
my
like
gosh.
a radiator grill on their face. The heat pits.
That's insane. It looks almost fake.
It does.
This is a dream boa of mine if I got any boas. Because I do have anacondas, but nothing. Man,
Brazilians, of course.
Brazilians, that's your
Brazilians. Ring pythons. Very few people have these. These guys are assholes.
Bismarck?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I want to see these. Oh, wow, they're really. Those things are insane, dude. That's sick. So these guys are still high priced too, huh?
Yeah, about that much. She threw studs this year, which is really upsetting. But I produced these guys many times. And I've had these guys forever, and they're still just animals. Of course, this doesn't help.
That's sick though to see the Bismarck here. I didn't even know you had Bismarcks.
And again, this is like one of those things that, you'll never sell one on the counter. They're just too much money. So it's a project I do mostly because I love it. All right, we're not going to get that I come off today.
Yeah, you're right.
Huge amounts of poop all over it.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah, you have to. I get sprayed on too. I got one time. Is this one too the same?
This is the girl.
So they're normally just like this cantankerous, a little bit.
Total jerks.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that I've held some.
Yeah, you gotta work
I've
with
held
it, right?
Some that have been workable, but These guys have got iridescence that are just as crazy as the white-lipped python.
And these as babies even are crazy.
Oh my
right?
God! Yeah,
the babies.
like
I think that's what sells them, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Sell them quick because they don't stay like that forever. Yeah.
And this rack is. I'm more impressed about the rack. This is the old school freedom breeder with the front view. Like a lot of people don't know. Like they started in Pleasant Hill.
Yep.
They had like a bike shop.
He was a car shop,
right?
And in fact, the rack we had, the Ronin rack that's at our front counter, is the second one they ever built.
Yeah.
We had the first one, we sold it.
That's insane. I love the history. I like the old school stuff, especially Neo. Do you have a Neodesha here?
Well, these are theoretically made through that same company for Lindy's
Neodesha original, like old school cages.
Yeah,
my brother has a tiny.
So hard to access.
Yeah, but I think I like the old school part of it. You probably are, dang, this thing's dying. But yeah, I just love the old school cages. Oh my God, Dominican red mountain boa, and they have the calico ones too, right? I saw this.
They have got a lot of variability.
Oh my gosh, these things, and these are the ones you guys are trying to sell right now, or?
They're up for sale, but I'm actually putting them together. But
keep them. No, I was kidding.
pain in the ass.
They're paying the ass.
Oh yeah. So one of my favorite.
Jungle carpet.
This guy's like.
That's a nice jungle carpet
He's at
too.
least 15 years old.
The yellow, wow.
But I mean, not only has he held his color, but he's held his size, i.e. small, where most people have got diamond.
Yeah, they start to mix them, right?
But all my jungles.
Wait, so this is not a diamond mix?
No, these are all pure.
Wow, that one looks nice though. That one, I love the pattern on that one.
Now you can see how big she's looking up here.
And you produce these every year, or?
Almost every year.
Gotcha.
This gal here is like the one I'm.
I think this thing is giving up on me. I might have to start holding.
Yeah, this one I don't have a full bloodline history on. Yeah, she's a little bit bigger, but yeah.
That's a nice size one too. And this is as big as a carpet usually could get. They could get a lot heavier, right? But that's people overfeeding them probably.
As jungles are supposed to get, as big as the jungles are supposed to get. But
yeah, coastals.
Coastals get huge.
Yeah, coastals are the biggest, or is it Bredli eye?
I think the coastals are going to get bigger.
Yeah.
I think so. Womas.
Do you do blackheads too?
No.
No.
Whoa, hey. No.
No. And these guys are lizard eaters, right? Reptile eaters, right? In the wild?
In the wild, they
blackheads
eat a
and
lot of
womas.
dragons, a lot of other snakes.
Because they don't have heat pits like a normal snake,
They
right?
don't have heat pits. They're the only boas. Well, the Aspidites, the blackhead, and these guys don't have any heat pits. Really primitive snake, primitive boid that has evolved all by itself there in Australia. Never got that developed. Behind you, every kind of king snake we can imagine. This.
I like all of it. Wow. It's a nice one too.
Just go. You do great ones. You are big and fat. You're gonna bring eggs. You see how big and fat she is?
Yep. You can see she's ready to lay them.
You better get in there, girl. Oh, she's about to shed. So we got a week.
You got a week on.
Yeah.
Because colubrids are about a week apart from.
Week to 10 days after.
Not like ball pythons or pythons that were like 30 days.
30
Yeah.
30 days. So, whoa, there he is.
Nice one.
Big fat snake.
It's all the king snake American.
Yeah, we can get past all these.
Wow. So this is a blood.
This is a blood. What is that? I don't even know.
Yeah, that thing's red.
Blood tessera mask.
Gotcha. Are you working with palmettos at all?
It's around the corner.
Yeah.
Siloans. Everybody loves Siloans.
Those are nice ones.
Just one of like the classic, just stunning snakes. They do a good job. Albinos. Albino.
That's a nice one.
Look at that fat gravid snake.
That is a nice one, dude.
We call her Spot.
Yeah.
And then so these are apricots.
Yeah, the apricots they were selling for a while there too. Like
That's a hypo, which I'm having a hard time finding females of.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna have to make my own.
Yeah, because I have my Honduran's a hypo albino. Albino.
So another monitor project. This is my
more
favorite.
stuff. Wow, this goes over here.
We don't quit. So one of my favorite monitors, and I am not.
Oh, yeah,
producing
tree
this guy,
monitors too?
but these guys breed and love each other.
So, I mean, these guys, I mean, you've been working with this one?
This one actually loves one of my ex-employees.
Okay.
Walk around on her, and he said he takes her to the restaurants and
Yeah.
bars. She's a funny lizard.
But
Here's the male.
monitors can recognize people. Like,
Oh my God! Like,
Yeah.
she loves him.
like my monitor recognized me versus my dad.
Yeah. I mean, they get along with me, but they don't love me the way they loved him.
Yeah.
They wind up, and she wind up.
Are the blacks the only ones you work with? Did you
Blacks
work
are
with
the ones
blues
I-
or greens?
No, no. Ooh, there's a good. You want to know who was the first person to produce blue tree monitors in the country?
I didn't even know they were produced too often until lately. I feel like.
That said, I didn't produce them. I
No.
hatched the first eggs.
Oh, you hatched the
So
first eggs.
got to grab a female in back in '96.
Wow. Okay.
Cameron Tepidellin at Bushmaster.
Uh-huh.
And, I guess they got by him. He didn't notice that she was full of eggs. And yeah, she laid 4 eggs. We hatched 3 of the 4.
Yeah.
And that was in like '96 or '7 or something like that.
Yeah, because blues are impressive.
It was such a
I know that
such
they're
a
high-
moment. But these cages are all connected. So this is basically.
Oh, really? So you just have a hole up here?
Yes, and there's holes.
That's a great idea.
So they can, yeah, it's not like I keep 2 rhinos in a tiny
So,
little cage.
yeah, so
They've
that
got
goes
this
down like
whole
this.
thing. And those are her lay boxes. And I will make this happen. She will produce her, but I have
That'd be cool.
So
And what
some-
eggs? Yeah, eggs right here too.
Oh, those are from that pine snake I was telling you about.
Oh, gotcha.
Bull snake.
Bull snake, yeah.
So we do a lot of blue-tongued snakes. I just have my males over here.
You have a red northern? Oh my gosh, look how
Oh,
red
it's a
this thing.
shed. Now,
But it's still an impressive animal though.
Yeah, but he's not a shed. He is just like even his tail is
Yeah.
red. It's crazy.
But they're all, I mean, are some genetic and some line bred?
They're all line bred.
They're all line bred.
Yeah. I mean, except the blacks and the rhinos.
Yeah. And
And then this is called Sunrise. or
Sunrise, something like that, right?
Something,
Yeah.
but yeah.
that one's a nice one.
These are the males. I'll show you the girls.
Okay, so you guys do a lot of captive breeding and blue tongues here too?
Blue tongues. So
Oh
this
wow,
is a
that's
new
right
girl.
there. That's a nice size. How's the temperament on that
Oh,
one?
they're big and dumb.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're lovely. But they I had one bigger than this.
Yeah?
And, I mean, it was old and she passed away.
Hey, is it okay if she holds this one? I can record her?
You can hold anything you
You
want.
wanna go right here? Yeah, my phone's way better quality, I don't know. What phone do you have, 13?
Me?
And now, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how old is this animal?
That one? Oh, you don't know. I mean,
No. Yeah, and then how, do boas take longer to reproduce versus pythons?
Let me think about it. No, I think they're about the same.
Yeah.
So it really depends upon the species. I mean, there are some species that just take longer to get to maturity.
Yeah.
Like those anthills we're going to see in a minute. Man,
Yeah.
take forever.
Gotcha.
to size. Forever.
Not
So
the problem.
children's pythons, sort of in a generic sense, like this. This is an adult
Yeah.
standard, kind of faded brown spots.
Don't get that. It's about full grown, right?
That's full grown. This animal's
Yeah.
actually a female, kibble laying eggs. I don't know if she's done that yet this year or not, but that's your average children's python. Then we have, again, this is what they call either the T positive, hypo, I don't know. But
Okay.
it's even almost completely patternless and super light. And I'll show you the babies. The babies are like super faded. You can't
Yeah, it
see
definitely looks
the dots.
patternless
The dots
for
are
sure,
really-
yeah.
We've got that going on.
So you guys do little side projects, huh? Or is that something you've been working on? Yeah. Yeah.
Spotted pythons, a little bit bigger, actually the biggest of the 4. Really retain that really nice dark pattern. This is how big they can get.
Oh wow.
So that's a pretty big female right there. And
It's a good size one too.
Yeah, it's-
No, I mean it's not crazy big for.
it's still small.
It's big for, I would say, their standards, right?
Yeah. You can still see a little bit of the tricolored bands. Gotta stop feeding this stuff. It's getting
is it
big
black
too
milk?
fast. Is this a black milk? I was hoping to show you.
Yeah, this is
that.
when they transition at this age,
Yeah, I
right?
was hoping to show you the truck colors. Yeah, we've already transitioned.
Yeah.
But that's a relatively new thing because they.
Yeah.
We got more.
Okay.
Now, one of the other projects we got that I'm really excited about that we've been doing really well with. Oh, you're looking right at me, aren't you? Come here, baby.
Australian spiny-tailed geckos. What?
All right.
Holy
So-
cow! What is
Close.
this?
So this is Strophaurus.
Oh, I don't wanna move.
On the florus, Strophaurus ciliaris, as opposed to ciliatus, and it has, if you look like over its eyes, 2 little spikes over its eyes. It has a row of spikes running down its tail. It doesn't have very good lamellae, so it doesn't hang on very well. This is a lizard, this is full grown by the way, that would live in spinifex grass or between rocks. But that tail, so that tail has a noxious fluid inside of it. So if you're gonna bite that tail, those spikes are gonna go right in the top of the roof of your mouth.
Okay.
And
I see it. It kind of
all this
flares up.
fluid is gonna come oozing out of that tail that tastes really, really bad.
Yeah.
In fact, when these guys get upset, much like the golden tail gecko, they can actually spray some of that noxious stuff out of their tail. That was the female. Let me get the male out because he might be a little bit quieter. It's a little bit chiller.
Wow, look at that thing.
Now, what's
that
really
one.
cool is that female and this male, that pair of geckos has produced 13 clutches in a row so far this year. And I'm willing to bet there might be another clutch in that thing right now.
Yeah. Probably tiny, huh? Oh
Oh
wow.
my god, that looks so cute.
My phone won't even focus until how small it is. Try to focus on your hand. There it is. That's so cool.
They get all the color and pattern a little later on.
Yeah.
So these are albinos. These are albinos without a doubt. There's no question about it. This whole thing used to be on our front counter display.
I remember seeing them up
It was
there.
up there forever.
Yeah.
And we had a Fish and Wildlife needed to use our, it sounds strange, but they needed to use our office for a meeting that had nothing to do with us. It had to do with a friend of ours who just needed a place to talk to Fish and Wildlife. So they came in, 5 strong, 4 guys that were just kind of walking around talking. And one guy looked like he was ready for World War III, gun here, bandolier,
Oh,
helmet
yeah.
on. I mean, what is he doing?
Yeah.
I don't know. But he was sitting there eyeballing these snakes. And he says, those aren't albinos. Those aren't true albinos. I said, yes, they are. He goes, they don't have a red eye. I said, yes, they do. Just put a light right
Wait,
on their eye.
what?
He said, I said, put a light right on their eye. And you can see they've got red eyes. He goes,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
I don't have a flashlight. And I said, okay, I'll take them off display. And so I wrote them up. I don't sell these to anybody. They just,
No.
any babies that are born, they go to wholesalers. I don't want that live
Gotcha.
deal, any of that stuff.
Yeah.
But it was more of a display for the public and kind of like, hey, here's that stuff. But anyway, that got kiboshed, and my whole plan was to go and buy some of this.
Bubblegum?
Thank you.
Yeah.
That have the really bright red
Yeah.
eyes, and then put them right back
Yeah.
where they were, but cool down.
Yeah.
So I'm back. Basically, next time she produces, I'll have her drop her litter, and then I'm gonna give these to a friend.
Gotcha. Yeah, it sucks though, but to say those are not albino is crazy, I think.
You know what? I wasn't gonna argue.
Yeah.
And it's not worth it. It's like, what? The project didn't mean
Like,
that
who are
much
these
to me.
people? Who's the ones
And it was
that...
just that one guy, and
Yeah.
everybody, and I started talking to them, and they go, "Oh, is it?" And I've already forgotten his name, but everybody knows.
What else would it be?
Everybody knows who he is. Like that guy,
Oh.
super gung ho.
But what else would it be? You know what I'm saying?
It wouldn't matter if they were leucistic. I couldn't have them out there.
Is there a Lucy Western? Oh, they're probably...
but
No.
they're Easterns. But even if
Eastern,
there were,
oh,
it doesn't have a red eye. And I couldn't have it.
Yeah.
So,
They did, right?
Yeah. So you're asking palmettos.
Have you seen a palmetto, Ada? Look at this.
Oh, no, yes, I've seen. Oh, I love it. I'm actually making a drawing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she does art.
They're pretty
too.
cool. Just the latest craze, and
Yeah, a lot of people are getting into these. They start off all white, right? They're similar to a Calvin tick.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of that spotting just yet.
Did you want to record it, Ada?
There's a really nice red one.
So, are they codom or
They're recessive.
they're recessive?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
House snakes, we do a lot of house snakes. My partner Kevin loves
Yeah.
house snake.
A lot of people are not crazy about house snakes, but it seems like they're.
That's a nice black.
That's what I'm saying. The blacks on these are pretty impressive. They look like pythons almost.
They do. They're actually they renamed the genus. It used to be Lyodon, whatever. Now it's Boadon.
Gotcha.
Right? Yeah, because it does look much like a python.
Just wanna
Actually,
show
not the
you
Colubrids,
all
they're
this we
taken
went
out of
through.
the Colubrids genus.
Yeah.
Out of the Colubrid family. But we've got albinos.
Oh, they have albinos in these too?
Look at that thing.
That thing's insane.
And
they don't-
oddly enough, this is probably the rarest of our house snakes. There is brown and stripes. Now this is not the brown stripe one from West Africa, the Fulginosus, which is a morph of the standard brown.
Okay.
This is the true stripe out of Tanzania. That they all look like that. It's
Yeah.
different, totally different species. And the eyes are placed a little bit further on the head. All right, around the corner. These cages are eventually going to go underneath that set of cages And then the bead lizard's going to move into here. I just haven't had time to do it.
Gotcha.
This is our raise up rack here, and this has got some of the stuff that's going to come up next year, or the upcoming years. My new false water cobras we're trying to raise up again. In fact, I just picked this one up this weekend because it's a different bloodline from mine. So
Gotcha.
obviously all I got left is my bloodline. So starting to collect other people's stuff. This is a different type of children's pythons. This is not the albino one. This is just what they call the desert phase, and they will tend to get a little bit redder.
Nice.
Stimsons. And these
Stimsons is nice. I like those.
Different bloodlines.
And they stay so small. That's what's cool about them.
Yeah. This is the only California mountain king snake we can breed, the Baja mountain king snake.
Okay.
We have really nice bloodlines of this stuff. That's a $500.
So anything native you can't.
Yeah. This comes out of Baja though, so
yeah.
$500 king snake there. Ridiculous.
Gotcha.
So here's a really cool thing. We're talking black snakes.
Wow.
That is a black Splendida. That is a black king snake, black desert king snake that comes out of Odessa, Texas.
Gotcha.
Right? That's just a population that only occurs right there in Odessa. That's solid black.
That's a nice one.
Just something new, something different. I just like it.
So what's the price difference between
not worth anything. It's probably $100 now.
Okay, gotcha.
But it's just,
versus
I just like it. Yeah, I just think it's cool.
If you want to record something, let us know too.
Yeah, great magnets.
Okay. This right here was like my brother's favorite back in the 90s.
They're really cool. They're really cool snakes. And I'm not really breeding localities on these. I'm just breeding for orange.
Gotcha. Because they could all be different, more gray, more orange, right?
This is one of the, we were talking about EBV bloodlines. This is the EBV red group boas.
Okay.
Part of it anyway. This of course has got hypo into it and it's been line bred for years and years and years. But this is, this is what we've been working on for a long time.
Nice one too.
Good stuff. Red. I'll show you the big ones in a minute. They're down here. Right here. Okay. Okay, so we still got a few bands.
It's almost there.
You almost see the red. Same thing. They're just growing up fast, so that you can see where the bands were.
But practically it looks like a regular milk snake.
But when they're born, they look just like that, right?
Yeah, similar to that with color, like that, right?
And they just turn black over time.
That's crazy.
In there. More of those trinket snakes are raising up for
Trinket. What's this?
Those
smaller species?
Oh yeah, Lafayette Helena, the Asian red snakes.
Oh, gotcha.
There's got a good display.
See, I don't know every single like.
There's their Asian red. There's
That's a strike.
Asian red.
Strike, yeah.
Look at that.
Their aggression and even.
They actually tame down and become really lovely.
Gotcha.
All right, so the coolest thing on this rack is that.
What do we have here?
That is the smallest python in the world.
That's anthill.
That is a 4-year-old anthill python. She'll be ready to lay eggs next year.
Wow.
And she won't be much
You
bigger
hardly
than
ever
that.
see anthills
She's
anymore.
ready now, but I'm going to wait another year.
Yeah.
And because what would I do with those babies? How small are those babies going to be? And
Yeah.
they're going to want to eat skinks anyway, so I'm going to have to figure out, lizard scent and all that. I want her bigger babies to be bigger.
Yeah.
So there's the male. That's an adult size.
It's a good one too.
Crazy, right?
It's crazy how big they get. And that's a lot of space for her too, I would say.
And here are those baby children, those hypo children. Look at how faded those things are.
Wow.
That's the ghost or the faded or whatever.
Gotcha.
And anything else of exceptional coolness? Oh, we got more stuff.
Okay.
He's in shed. But
That's
this
a nice.
is-
That's
this
a
is
red
very
one though.
similar to they're from the same line.
How do you sex them?
Thank you. And the hardest thing I have to do in my job is trying to sex them. They're so hard to sex. Literally, I sex them by putting.
Is it tail and length?
So it's a lot of things, and I honestly don't have it down. But males have got squarer tails.
Yeah.
Obviously, as they get bigger, they've got bigger bulges. But when they're this mid-size, when they're this size here, and they haven't really gotten to full maturity,
Yeah.
it's hard. But males are gonna get real big potato heads. Very angular.
Gotcha.
Really
It's
distinct.
heads too. It's everything,
But
right?
there's a formula that I have not yet really been able to apply. That apparently you can measure the distance between their legs and the length of their head, and there's a ratio that you come between those two numbers.
Yeah,
that
and
will determine.
having multiple animals helps too, right?
Yes,
Having
but that will then determine the sex, and I've not really been able to figure that out, to be honest with you.
Do you know yours yet or no?
Still too small.
Yeah, mine's kind of. They think it's a male.
Sometimes
Rankins.
putting them together can tell you, but honestly,
This is a male.
this is female.
Female.
So these are lay boxes, and you can actually put your fingers in there. You can actually feel the eggs in there. And you gotta be don't be shy. You feel like jelly bellies in there. But yeah, you can just.
Oh yeah, I feel it right there.
So,
Like jelly bellies.
waiting for her to drop. But this gives her the whole cage, gives her she can nest without males bothering her or other females digging up her nest. So these lay boxes are what we really work with for that. Once you head, more rankins here.
More Rankins.
Here we have some of our. You guys have made a mess of things, haven't you? Some of those Lacerdas we talked about. These are
Give me 1 second.
if you just start feeding them by hand. No, they actually become really tame.
Yeah.
I don't have to go out of my way to do much
those are
handling.
so cool.
I just feed them by hand. I mean, I don't like entirely feed them by hand. I just initially feed them by hand, and they just eventually just stop caring and stop freaking out about the hand.
Look how black this one is. I love these black ones.
Don't like being restrained.
It's like a small tegu.
It really is. All right, we're not gonna pull him out, but they are so cool.
Fast too.
Yeah,
Is
such
that
a,
one fully grown?
no, he'll
jewel?
get about a third bigger than that. So these are young. I've not yet produced these. I produced these before, but not yet here.
Yeah.
This is next year's project too. This is
Australian?
yeah, we don't see a lot.
You
of
don't
these.
see them anymore, and not even captive breeding of them.
They're just hard to come by at all on this coast, but
They're gonna stop. Well, they
They're
never. They're gonna stop something, right?
well, the problem with these guys is they fall into the Lacey Act.
Yeah.
So they so we can't ship them out of state, or excuse me, out of the country.
Out of country.
I can ship them.
Because Australia's been done, right?
Right.
Yeah.
As far as we know, there were never any legal
Animals.
bearded dragons, for that matter, released
Gotcha.
into the United States or anywhere else. And so, one of the other crackdowns of Fish and Wildlife has been to reinforce the Lacey Act, which
Yeah.
means no Australian lizards can be traded internationally
Yeah.
because there were none ever released legally. Which again bottlenecks the bloodlines and
Yeah.
doesn't really do the animal any good. But whatever.
That's cool animal. That's
Yeah.
cool. So you guys are working on a breeding colony.
Got it. Yeah. Got 5
And
of these ready to go.
somebody reproduced these recently, I feel like.
Oh, I get them back
Yeah.
east. They produce them back east every year.
Yeah.
But same thing. Everybody's really uptight about your bloodlines, and he'll actually ask you, "Where'd you get your other ones from?" before they start selling you. Make sure that you're not
Yeah.
messing up the cheese.
Messing it up. And then you got your boas over here.
Boas. So these are some of the boas we talked about. We were talking about.
Oh, you do green trees? Sarong?
Yeah. These are sarongs and the red group boas.
So sarongs have more blue.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like this male is pretty spectacular.
That's a nice blue on that one.
The female, I think she's gravid. Certainly fat. But yeah, again, this is a snake. It was never cheap, but I mean, these things used to go $300 to $400. $1,000 snake. these
But
days.
captain bred is
Yeah,
way,
it's
you know,
just
it's worth it though
crazy.
all around. So you guys captive breeding on them, is it successful so far, or how are you with those?
She's pregnant right now.
Yeah. So is this not your first time, right? Or
Not my first. It's my first time with her.
Gotcha.
So yeah, but we produced.
Yeah. And then you guys do other localities, or
I've got this unknown
Unknown
locality.
locality.
I just missed out on getting some really nice high water roos.
Yeah.
That at some point I will get my hands on.
nothing designer so far?
No, none of that.
Designers do, mixed up.
Island mix, but I've got no problem with that.
Gotcha.
But, I do not. But yeah, the red
Boas.
group boas.
Oh my
That is
God.
actually the last of the actual true red groups, where there's just no other bloodlines in them but the red group boa. And of course he's in shed because I wanted to show him off. Yeah, this is
Sun glow, all the
glows
morphs.
and, snows, hypo stripes.
It's cool stuff. And you got pine chihuahuas here
Oh my
too?
God, look at some of the nicest chihuahuas ever. First I want to show you some of the nicest crested geckos ever. So we got out of the crested
Lily
gecko
whites?
business. Whoops, yeah. This is so this is obviously
Oh my
not
gosh,
that
that's a
upgraded.
nice
This is-
one.
That's going to make the mochaccino. Mm-hmm. There's my boy. boys.
Probably inside a log somewhere.
Spectacular.
Let me get your way.
Yeah, he's in that long, and I'm not getting him out.
Yeah.
That's,
Do you have success on breeding
oh, yeah.
Chihuahuas?
She just laid eggs. She's got eggs.
Wow,
in
look
there
how
somewhere.
green this thing is.
But it's actually, this is the female. Let me find the male. Because the male, there you go, eggs right here. Bonk.
Oh, look at that.
And they're not fired up right now. When they're fired up, the red is amazing.
But that green is insane, I would say. And that comes from a certain, the locality is only
Pine,
green,
yeah,
or
pine, yeah,
not
pine.
all are green, right?
No, many are brown.
Everywhere.
Pine Islands, though, are kind of the nicest ones, I think.
And then you got the
So
Chihuahuas.
more of this, our gargoyle. So, you know, we don't breed a lot of this. We used to have cages and cages and cages of these various racodactylus, and now we just have a few, and we're just kind of going for really good-looking stuff.
Yeah, right there. Oh, that's a really red one.
No, that's not the red one. That's the female. So she is good-looking, but he is phenomenal.
Oh wow, dude, look how red that thing is.
He's pretty phenomenal.
Does this come from a certain line or anything? Like, is there a name for it? You know, like what's the name? Specialized Siki's Geckos got this, like, I forget the name of
I
it.
probably should. That's one thing we're very poor at is marketing.
Well, you just breed for what you like,
What
right?
you like, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's too many names in this hobby now for everything.
Yeah.
And then you got,
Oh no!
what happened?
He lost his tail.
Oh,
So that's the thing about
What?
leeches. They are really, really hard on each other. So I have two females, and I constantly
yeah.
bounce the females back and forth. But it looks like the female I put in there just beat the shit out of the male.
Gotcha. That's what's scary about geckos, right? Just dropping their tail for no reason.
Well, of course, these guys have hardly a tail.
Oh my
so it
god,
doesn't matter.
that thing's insane, dude.
And leeches feel.
I love the look of
You
lychee.
felt them? Put them in your hand.
Hold on. Let me record it then. Let me record you with mine. Is he fast?
No. That's a female.
Yeah, oh, that's a female. Let me go back.
Feels nice.
Right? Oh, silky and smooth.
That's what she was asking me. Is like, are you gonna be able to hold stuff? Yeah. Yeah.
It's nice like when you try and go up. I've
Yeah.
hit 10 times, but yeah, I have no
I know. I was gonna remind you of that.
no desire to have a reptile that I have to hold.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Not every, stuff that you just be visually not looking at like that. Like I don't want to talk about my ear trucks, but you know, that's that's visually.
And people ask me that all the time. I was like, well, why isn't it tame? Well, why would you want something that's not tame? I don't know. Do you keep fish? Well, yeah, I keep fish.
You
You hold your fish?
Yeah, no.
No, you just enjoy them
Exactly.
in their natural state, doing what they naturally do.
And what's down here now? Is this
That,
more?
that's just more of that boarding stuff. Like, so
Okay.
you'll
Yeah,
learn,
yeah.
that's
Boarding
it.
stuff.
That-
Okay.
That was our list. That's our breeding, for the most part, our breeding stuff.
All right, guys, that was a tour of East Bay Vivarium. Is you have anywhere we can follow you guys on social media, Instagram, or anything like that?
Yeah, you can follow us both on Instagram, Facebook, and all the other social medias. I think it is www.eastbayvarium.com.
Okay, and you do go to all the local shows out here in North Cal,
Any
right?
show that is driving distance to the store will be
Okay, and would you have your address here? If
1827 Fifth Street, Berkeley, California, Suite C.
All right, I appreciate
94710.
you giving me the time, John, and the tour.
Always, man.
All right, man.
Thanks for coming down.
Thank you.